Oh, okay, works. Okay, we are live. But crap, I forgot to turn the light on. Oh, of course, the light is on. I turned the light on, but the electricity didn't work. Hey, poultry. Yeah, I just wasn't live. I wasn't live for a hot moment. Guess what we do first? The title already said it. Developer Direct from Xbox. Yeah, this is going to be a fucking shit show. Sorry, I just checked some I just went and checked comments on a video. Yeah, shouldn't do that when I'm streaming. Okay. So. No, wrong chat fenster. Okay. A window. Sorry for the random German. So, first things first, we're gonna react to this thing. It's 52 minutes long, so we might be here for 2 hours. Just with that video. Yay! Being a React Andy. Our best thing for easy content. And after that, we do some more reacts. I'm not sure what we do. Well, actually, I have a list. Where is it? There. It's just there. It's even named properly. I want to watch this by Fliegezoid. I want to watch a lot of this. Of course, also this one, because there has been a Boss Babe game that's spiritual successor to Dino Crisis, and apparently it's shit. Oh, and I want to watch this. How AI actually sees races in World of Warcraft. Oh, that's going to be cool. So, I would say, let's get started with this shit here. Do we need subtitles? I don't think so. Please load. Oh, not not being too loud. Let's read this together. This year marks 25 years of Xbox. Oh god, I feel old. A milestone that celebrates the diverse storytellers, teams, and fans who bring these worlds to life. Why does this word need to be there? I tell you why. Politics. Let's take a closer look at some of the amazing games coming this year, straight from the creators building them. Chat. Type 1 if you're excited for Xbox games, or 2 if you aren't. By the way, I'm going to Berlin later this year. Oh, anything specific I should see? Look up the parts of town with the highest crime rates and don't go there. Don't go there, please. Personally, I wouldn't enter that town because I hate it. It's a disgusting cesspool. Now, if you wanna do the deed with random woman, Berlin is awesome. But that's not what this video is about. All games shown today are available on day one with Xbox Game Pass. Oh, Xbox, Microsoft losing more and more money. More and more money. All games shown are also Xbox Play Anywhere, okay? Buy once, play on Xbox consoles, Xbox on PC, and Xbox Cloud with cross saves and cross progression. So it's basically kind of Steam, but Microsoft. So worse. I get it. Enjoy the show. We will see. We are starting out big. Jeez. All these warnings. Oh, this one is German. All games you are about to see are in development and do not represent final products. Oh, then why are we here? To build anticipation and hype. So that stock prices go up and the managers make more money. Why is this the first thing we see when we are about to, look at, oh, games? Why not games? By the way, Asian guy, probably the most trustworthy of everyone we will see here. Told you. Did the game just run in below 30 FPS in the video? Look at it. Here it comes. That didn't look like 60 FPS to me. Oh shit, that was loud. I'm sorry that it was so loud. You're playing for fun. If you're playing for fun and you can stuck a missile up a BMT's ass, the life is good. Yeah, I can see that.
I'm not sure what to do with my hands.
How, man, that whoever wrote that script should be slapped in the face. Playground games. So basically, these are made for women. And soft boys.
Welcome to this world-first look at Forza.
Wait. Via Playground Games is a studio? What's going on?
Horizon 6. I'm Torben Ehlert, Design Director for Forza Horizon, and I can't wait to show you what the teams at Playground Games and Turn 10 have been working on.
And I'm Don Arceta, Art Director for Forza Horizon.
Oh, okay. Looks good.
The Horizon Festival is a celebration of beautiful cars, hit music, and breathtaking locations around the world.
It looks
And now
good.
we're taking you to the place we've wanted to visit for a very long time.
Japan?
Japan.
Who could have guessed?
We designed
What is it that everything these days is about Japan? Japan, Japan, Japan. I don't know why. And funny thing, at the same time, everyone is attacking Japan's culture. I wonder why.
a campaign that really focuses on your journey. You don't start as a superstar of a festival or a racing champion or even a rookie. You'll start out as just a tourist in Japan. Your first goal is to join the Horizon Festival by completing the Horizon qualifiers. After that, you'll rise through the ranks, unlocking wristbands as you complete races in faster, more exciting cars. At the end of each round, you must prove you're ready to move up by completing spectacular events to unlock your next wristband. These include classic Horizon showcases and our new Horizon Rush events, where you show off your skills on thrilling obstacle courses, like this one at the docks in Tokyo City.
Okay.
When you finally earn your gold wristband, you get access to Legend.
I literally don't care what he's saying. I only care gameplay and looks. This game looks great. So no complaints from me on that side. It looks great. Everything here looks great. Now I would like to see actual gameplay. And not, recorded for the trailer stuff. Just recorded for the trailer stuff.
Island, an exclusive region of the world with unique events, tracks, and areas to explore, and that will be a true accomplishment. Throughout that journey, all of Japan outside the Horizon Festival is yours to explore at your own pace.
Wait. What? Are you telling me I can drive around in Japan in this game? If it looks good, then it runs like shit. Not necessarily. Arc Raiders runs good, and it looks good. But yeah, your concerns are valid.
So, let's talk about the location we've all been waiting for.
Japan is the ideal location for our biggest, most exciting game yet.
Why?
Full of beautiful landscapes and stunning contrasts of rural and urban, modern and traditional.
Sure.
This is our largest map, full of verticality, diverse biomes, seasonality, and breathtaking driving experiences, elevated by Japan's unique car culture. So we knew from the start that we wanted to deliver the most compelling and authentic game possible. To help us create those experiences in-game, we sought out advice and insight.
You think it will run like shit on an Xbox? I would say it depends on the Xbox. Because we have all to remember, Xbox is just a computer. It's just a computer. Just like the PS5 and 4. Just a computer. It depends on what it's in. It depends what's in the box. There. It's gonna take like 2.5 terabytes. We don't know that yet. And you only think of in those sizes because you are used to the incompetency of modern game developers.
Insight from people who've lived with Japanese car culture their entire lives.
As someone who grew up in Los Angeles and Tokyo, both cities known for car culture, I developed a passion for
Los Angeles, immediate red flag. Immediate.
Cars early. I've also worked extensively supporting creative collaborations between Japanese and Western video game studios. Over the course of production, I had many conversations with the team about the nuances and the details of Japanese culture and how to reflect these in Forza Horizon 6. As an example, when we discussed...
Yeah, but are you actually doing it, or are you doing it like the one dumb bitch did it for Ubisoft that had a fetish for, you know, monks molesting little boys? I remember.
Naming options for the player home at Tokyo Docks, we discussed the building number, picking 7 and 8 because those two numbers are considered...
Why not 7-6? Oh no, 6-7, right? It was 6-7. My bad.
...fortunate in Japan. In fact, these numbers are also part of a well-known Japanese proverb, Nanakorobi Yaoki, which means never give up.
When our team builds a Forza Horizon...
Okay, but what about the gameplay? Why don't you show gameplay? All this around, you know, oh yeah, we are super accurate and all of that. Why is that in this? Why isn't this a small video on the game side or on the Xbox side? If you want to build hype, don't do it like this. Show gameplay. Because, to be fair, looking at her, she making a game about driving cars? That's not getting me excited.
Game, we focus on the essence of the place, what makes it special and unique. At the start of production, our team traveled to Japan to capture reference for everything. Time lapses of real Japanese skies, photogrammetry of trees and geology, scans of roads and buildings, and things as simple as water kick-up and the way fallen cherry blossoms respond to passing cars. From these references...
That's all nice and so, but do we really need that? Do you need it in a game that's about racing with cars? No. It's a layer on top. You make the base game good and then you put small things on top. These things are small things. Why are you talking about the small things? Talk about the big things, please.
We then work to capture the soul of those places, adapting it for Horizon's open-world gameplay. And since Japan is home to driving experiences unlike anywhere else, that process begins with the roads. Inspired by the C1 Loop, Ginkgo Avenue, and mountain passes, like Mount Haruna and Bandai Atsuma. Then we layer in the details around them, creating a world where every road leads to discovery.
Yeah, and why don't you let the players discover that while playing the game? Why are you showing it all off in a trailer? You could just focus on how good the game is, you know? Driving the cars, the tracks and all of that. And show a little bit of, you know? Oh, you can go there, you can go there, but why is this trailer focusing on the small things? Personally, this makes me worry that the gameplay is shit. Now, do I believe that the gameplay is shit? No, because it's the, I don't know, 10th game in the series? So it shouldn't be shit. But then again, we also had the last Call of Duty. And I think we don't have to talk about how bad that was.
For this game, we've built our biggest urban area yet. Our Tokyo city is 5 times larger than anything we've designed before, with multiple districts, each with a unique identity. We work to create a city where every road, every corner, and every shortcut is fun to drive and a delight to explore.
This looks great, but I also think it looks too clean. And I don't mean that, oh my god, there's no dirt on the road or anything like that. I mean, it looks sterile. if I see videos of people walking the streets in Japan, they look more lively than this.
Multiple districts, each with a unique identity. We work to create a city where every road, every corner, and every shortcut is fun to drive and a delight to explore.
Seasonal change in Japan is dramatic, and these changes are widely celebrated in local culture.
Sure.
We captured that in games so that you'll see those changes reflected in the world around you as you explore. That sense of exploration is at the heart of the game. Everything you find on your road trip in Japan is something for you to collect. Cars, houses, landmarks, mascots, and more, all tracked in your adventure journal.
Sure.
Japan's car.
But why is that thing in a trailer? Why? What does it add to the excitement for this game? Nothing. I mean, the seasons, sure, yes, they do. But why the booklet? That didn't need to be there. I mean, so far I'm really unimpressed. With the exception of how good the game looks.
Car culture is one of the reasons I've been so excited for this location. And Forza Horizon 6 will feature more than 550 cars at launch. Those cars will have...
Finally, after how long? When did this start? At the 2-minute mark. We are, yeah, over 5 minutes. And finally, in the car game, we're coming finally to the cars. Wow. Imagine War Thunder, a trailer for War Thunder, and you don't talk about any of the vehicles in War Thunder for 5 minutes.
New body kits, new Forza Aero, and the ability to paint liveries on windows. We've also fully overhauled our roster to be better balanced across all performance classes, from D to our new top-end R-Class for track-focused cars. We've improved how each car is affected.
The cars look so clean that they look unrealistic. It's not that the cars look unrealistic, but they are so clean that they are looking unrealistic. I hope you guys get what I mean.
World, for example, with new cosmetic tire wear, so each car responds authentically as you rack up the miles on those iconic Japanese roads. With more cars on day one than ever before, we've also created new ways to expand your car collection as you explore.
Shit, Miata.
Parked on driveways around the world, you'll encounter our new aftermarket cars. They're always bargains and include some extremely rare and unique cars to show off in your garage.
To be fair, I like this thing. I think this looks cool. Not, manly cool, but, it looks nice and cool. I like this. Imagine your girlfriend driving this. That your girlfriend is nice when she drives a thing like this.
We're not just bringing classic JDM to life, but also showcasing some of the newest, most exciting cars in the world. And Forza Horizon 6 cover car is one of them. The GR GT is a race-derived road car that combines motorsport performance with road-going excellence.
I think I've seen hundreds of cars from different manufacturers that just look like that. Which, by the way, is my pet peeve with all modern cars. They all look the same. Because the car companies are all owned by the same, investment companies.
The game is the ideal place to experience the most modern iteration of Kazoo Racing's relentless pursuit of Japanese engineering perfection.
Our cars sound better than ever, with greater detail and remastered audio, all brought to life by new acoustic modeling technology, simulating the soundscape of the world.
Sure.
Music is a huge part of the Horizon Festival.
Is it me, or do we have sound like that in car games for over 10 years already? I'm absolutely not impressed by this at all. To me, that this sounds like every other car game that came out in the past 10, 15 years. Yeah, it's just whatever.
And we're curating a diverse track list from around the world, including exciting Japanese artists, so you can choose your perfect soundtrack, whether racing, cruising, or drifting. And to complement the visual contrast of our map, we've captured extensive field recordings across all 4 seasons in Japan, creating a rich and truly authentic world for you to experience.
In Forza Horizon 6, you'll have...
Why the waterfall? I mean, it's not like you're driving your car to the waterfall, right? Because it's a racing car, so not of what? Why? Why are they making things so complicated? Why don't they focus on the racing in the racing game? I mean, I don't want to hate on this game, but they really make it hard not to. What is it with these game developers these days that don't focus on the basics of their fucking game? Well, sure, if the basics are already there from, all the past games, they just copy and pasted them, then sure, they need then something new, right? But that would then just be the scenario, which is Japan in this case, which is fine, but it's this thing with you can easily create 80-90% of something, and that's easy, and the last 10-20% that's hard, and that takes a lot of time. And I think that's what we are seeing here. The last 10-20% that's hard, the extreme detail that you don't really need, but it's nice to have. I think that's what's going on here.
New ways to shape that world with features that let you make a life for yourself in Japan. Our new customizable garages are the perfect place to do that. You'll find one of these at every player house, big enough for multiple cars, where you can freely decorate the entire space. And when you're done, you can invite your friends over to see what you've built.
Okay, that's nice.
But the ultimate place to express your creativity is the estate. This mountain valley starts off completely empty and overgrown.
Oh, okay.
But once you unlock it, you can build and decorate directly in the open.
Why? By the way, this looks extremely ugly, and this looks like it comes out of a game from, I don't know. Why is this so ugly? Do you see that, guys? This is so ugly. This is incredibly ugly. And some things, I mean, I guess it's concrete, this and this, but this is so, it kind of looks like it has no texture. Yeah, this is horrible. This looks so goddamn ugly. Oh my god. And why are you... This looks like the base of a villain in a movie or something like that. Not like your base in a racing car game.
Open world here, and anything you construct is permanent and visitable by your friends. Our teams are fully committed to Forza Horizon being the open world driving game for everyone. We'll be...
Oh, for everyone? Yeah, okay, yeah. That sounds bad.
Carrying forward all of our accessibility features from previous games. We'll also be adding in new...
Well, I hope so. I mean, why wouldn't you? It would be stupid to not to do that.
Options like proximity radar for competitive players and auto drive for players who want to lean back and appreciate the world in motion.
Did you hear that, guys? In your racing game, you have an option for auto drive. Just like in some mobile games and stuff like that, where you have autoplay. What is this shit? And by the way, I have to reconcile my speaking positively about the graphics of the game, because I'm now seeing things where I go, yeah, that doesn't look good. It doesn't.
Our major new accessibility feature is customizable high contrast mode, making the open world of Japan visually accessible to everyone. No matter how you and your friends play, you can customize Forza Horizon 6 so you can play together.
Wow.
Japan is world-renowned for its car meets, like Daikoku, and inspired by these experiences, Forza Horizon 6 will include new open-world car meets. These are places where you can show off your cars and characters, download tunes and liveries, and even buy a copy of the cars you see. Then head out together to explore, where you'll find classic events like street races and our new Toge battles, iconic nighttime races down Japanese mountain passes.
Yeah, I've seen better looking racing games a decade ago. I mean, if some Forza fans watch this, am I crazy, or have you seen better looking games in the past already? Because to me, the asphalt, the roads, they look unrealistic. I think they have too much detail that you wouldn't be able to see if you would actually drive on the road.
There's more to do in the open world than ever before, with new shared experiences like Horizon Time Attack circuits. These are seamlessly part of the open world, with no loads, no matchmaking, just a truly social experience with you, your friends, and the in-world leaderboard. Playing together is easier and more rewarding than ever. Forza fans are incredibly creative, making everything from liveries to race events and scenic locations.
Why?
Forza fans are incredibly creative, making everything.
This looks horrible.
Think from liveries to race.
This looks like it comes straight out of Second Life. Oh my god. What is this?
Race events and scenic locations.
Yeah, this looks horrible too. Oh my god, that's so ugly. Oh Jesus.
To explore. To support your creativity, we've added the ability to start building from anywhere, as well as loads of other player-requested improvements, all of which are also available in the estate.
Funniest thing here. What? The stuff on the screen changes, but the hands on the controller don't move at all.
And the customizable garage. We also know you love to collaborate, so in Forza Horizon 6, we're making building fully multiplayer. In Horizon Collab, you and your friends can build anything you can imagine together.
Yeah, I can't see that backfiring at all. Right, chat? We can't see that backfiring.
From everyone here at Playground Games and Turn 10 Studios.
So Playground Games is a studio and not a category. Okay, I get it now. Yeah.
We hope you've enjoyed this first look at some of the new features we've been working on, and that you're as excited as we are for the game.
I'm not at all. And it's not even because I'm not a racing game guy. It's just they haven't shown anything that would excite me. Like in general, even about any other game.
Launching on Xbox and PC on the 19th of May. If you're a Forza fan on PlayStation, we'll be welcoming you to Japan later this year when our PlayStation version is ready. For now, though, stay tuned for more updates about the game over the coming months. And thanks for joining us. We can't wait to see you in Forza Horizon 6 as we discover Japan together.
Why are the rally cars so clean when they are driving through a forest? Makes no sense. Yeah, this looks unrealistic. I see better games 10 years ago. Anyone hype? Anyone? I'm not. Oh, Godzilla. No. Giant robot. Oh. Great, the only cool thing in a game is not going to be in the game. Great. Yeah, no. Not gonna be... No. No. Game 3, yeah. I hope their game is better. It's developed by Asians. Thank you. Thank you. Now I have a little bit of hope that this is not going to be complete trash. Hey, Ulo.
皆さんこんにちは。ゲームフリークのゼネラルプロデューサー大森茂です。ここは東京にあるゲームフリークのオフィスです。
Ah, thank God. Yes, Japanese developing a game. Yeah.
ビースト・オブ・リンカネーションはかつてない新しい体験を作り出すことに主眼を置いたゲームフリーク独自の取り組みギアプロジェクトから生まれた。
This already looks better than Forza. Just because it has style to it.
新しい挑戦です。これまでもポケットモン
Female character and she's hot. Game is likely being good.
スターシリーズのほかソリティバ、ギガレッカーなどさまざまなオリジナルゲームタイトルを世に送り出し常に新しいアイデアや
Is this Nintendo? No, it's Xbox.
世界観の構築に挑戦しています。ビースト・オブ・リンカネーションはまさに新しい体験ができるゲームです。遠い未来、文明崩壊後の汚れに侵食された日本、そして
Post-apocalyptic Japan of the distant future. It depicts a world consumed by a blight. Okay. Guys, you heard Pokemon and thought it was Nintendo. By the way, is that available for the Xbox 360? I doubt that. And while we're at it, look at this. Looking at this, I'm immediately, yep, this looks interesting. And not only interesting, I think this looks beautiful. Yeah, I like this too. Thank God.
一人と一匹のアクション RPG というゲームプレイで構築されています。この美しくも
Now the question is, do we have to play as the woman? Or can we make our own character? Since you don't have an Xbox, you can play it on PC.
過酷なビースト・オブ・リンカネーションの世界で皆さんにも臨場感あふれる冒険を味わっていただくことができればと心から願っています。
Monster design is good.
これまではポケットモンスターシリーズでバトルプランナーやサウンドマネージャー
So far in, this is already looking way more interesting than Forza. I like, so far, post-apocalyptic game in Japan, good monster design, good looking main character that's a female. The fighting, I'm not sure yet about that, but it seems to be at least fine.
を務めてきました。ただ新しいゲームに挑戦したいという強い衝動もずっとあったんです。 最初は黙々とそのゲームである感覚を自分の心に問いかけることから始めていました。世界観もキャラクターもゲームデザインも決めずに、ただどんな感覚がいいんだろうと探っていました。そうしているうちにぬくもり、頼もしさ、そして寂しさが入り混じったような感覚が。
Yeah, look at this. You have giant wolf beast, which looks cool. And now look at the character. Pretty face. Traditional sword. The head is traditional Japanese, Southeast Asian thing. Looks good. She is not scantily clothed, but she looks great. We have this thing here that glows, this plant thing. This looks good. This is a well-designed character. You immediately think, yeah, this is nice. At least I do. It's not the abomination from Fable, the new one. Jesus.
最もしっくりきたんです。自分の心に反応しました。
ね、look. No.
最もしっくりきたんです。自分の心に。
Look at this. Looks interesting, doesn't it? Looks way more interesting than a lot of other games. This is intriguing. I have no idea what this thing is, but I would like to know. It has 2 legs, so it at least was moving in the past. Yeah, something intriguing.
に反応しました。隔離された主人公エマとこの世界を一緒に旅していくぬくもりのある相棒クーもその過程で生まれました。
Look at the design of this monster. This looks beautiful. Have I ever used that word for a monster? I think not. But this looks great.
古島からビースト・オブ・リンカネーションのコンセプトを聞いてとても興味を惹かれ、すぐに参加しようと心に決めました。長年ゲームフリークではポケットモンスターシリーズを通じて生き物やパートナーを描いてまいりました。しかし今回のプロジェクトでは過酷な世界を相棒と共に旅をするという体験を目指しています。
Yeah, look at this. To be fair, I'm actually now interested in playing this game. When was the last time I have seen a game show and I was actually interested in playing a game that I saw there? I don't know. Man, I'm so surprised by this.
汚れと呼ばれる寄生植物が蔓延している世界がかつての文明の廃棄を覆い尽くすほどまでに植物が生い茂った過酷な環境となっており
I'm not a fan of the running animation. I think I have seen that in 100 games coming from South Korea, Japan.
ダイナミックな移動が要求されます。
Whoa. That was cool. Can you see that again?
植物が生い茂った過酷な環境となっておりダイナミックな移動が要求されます。
Oh my god. That was... Oh, that's basically her double jump. Her double jump is where the thing here, the vine comes out and lifts her up. That's cool. That's actually cool. Using an already existing mechanic and implementing it in your game with something that's in-world. That's nice. That's how you know the developers are smart.
このような経緯で地を張って自由に操ることのできる鶴のような髪をエマの能力にすることになり、プロトタイプも出来上がってきました。そしてそれがエマという人物のバックグラウンドとキャラクターデザインを形作っていったんです。
Okay, this is coming from Avatar, where you know they basically this is how they
これまでゲームフリークは動植物や自然と真摯に向き合ってきました。形状を自由に変えられて武器のように鋭くなりつつも美しい、そんな中核となるモチーフとして植物を選びました。ただ単に美しい植物を風景で表現するだけではなく、遊びにも植物を取り入れました。
You know, it's good when you don't understand what they are saying. You don't really care, but you are still intrigued. I am. I'm actually looking at this and I'm like, yeah, this is nice. This is cool. Man. Finally, I'm happy.
しっくりとくるモチーフを見出し、ゲームデザインとモチーフを紐付けることは、ポケットモンスターシリーズの開発を通じて培ってきた重要なステップです。モチーフが決まった段階で、コンセプトアーティストの幸田一馬さんご協力のもと、この世界のビジュアルを形作っていくことにしました。エマとクーの姿を思い描いたとき、自然に支配される世界の
Even if I wouldn't hear her talk, this looks so nice. I mean, this kind of looks like it's not finished. It looks like the shader, something's going on there. This doesn't look finished. To be very fair, this looks like an area that's not finished. The greenery under, I guess it's moss, under the tree makes no real sense. These thingies look very low res and out of place. I'm not sure what's going on over here at this side of the screen. This looks fine.
舞台として日本がぴったりだと考えました。
Yeah, those again. Yeah, they obviously play a kind of important role when it comes to the lore. I want to know what they are, what they were used for. I really do. And by the way, this looks amazing. This is amazing art.
日本の昔から続く山々に囲まれた自然豊かな風景と SF が入り混じった世界をエマとクーが歩く姿を自然にイメージできました。さらに植物をモチーフとした重要な存在として植物と動物が融合した生物でもある腐食体も出来上がっていきました。腐食体のデザインは当時私が注目していたデジタルアーティストの森田裕樹さんにお願いすることにしました。
世界の舞台を作ると同時にエマとクーの物語を作り上げていきました。ストーリーの舞台は西暦4026年の日本です。はるか昔に発生した汚れという名の寄生植物の影響で人類の大半が消滅した後の世界です。エマは腐食体を狩り、その汚れを自分の体に封じ込めることができるという特別な能力。
Do we have evil plants? I mean, sure we have evil plants, yeah.
力を持っています。ただそれがゆえにエマは恐れられ、人々が住むコロニーから隔離され暮らしています。エマと彼女の相棒となるクーは日本の東の地で出会います。
また
そのクーの目的がこのゲームの謎の一つでもあります。
名前は何だ？
クーだ。
クーから目を離さない方がいい。
ああ、分かってる。封じ後エマ、お前に輪廻の獣討伐の命を出す。
都に迫る輪廻の獣を討伐するにはエマとクーの力を強化していく必要があります。そのためにこの世界に存在する強力な腐食体主を討
The thing is, I don't even want to know about the story at all. Don't tell me the story. I want to experience it in a game. That's way more interesting.
討伐し、その力を取り込んでいくことになります。汚れを封じることができるエマにしかできない特別な役目です。腐食体はこの世界の畏怖の対象であり、 最も象徴的な存在です。汚れに寄生されて巨大化していった生物たちです。エマとクーが戦う強力な敵です。腐食体は汚れを吐き、その巨体で世界を蹂躙していきました。腐食体の中でもひときわ大きい主と呼ばれる存在は、植物を操り自身の支配地域に汚れの森を呼び。
Okay, yeah, I see what you did there. I see it. They showed where the attack would hit with the vines on the ground. Clever. Good design.
生み出します。汚れの森に入ると周囲の環境がガラッと変わります。手強い腐食体が襲いかかり、プレイヤーの行く手を阻むのです。そしてこの世界にはゴーレムというもう一つの勢力があります。ゴーレムは過酷な世界を生き残るため、かつての人間が魂を機械の体に転送した姿です。2000
Now it's kind of reminding me of Nier Automata, which is not a good thing. I hated that game.
年の間に凄まじい戦闘技術を身につけましたが、一方で魂は劣化してしまっていて暴走しています。
エマとクーはさまざまな人物と出会います。長い旅をサポートするブラッド、カグラであったり、あとはクナイというエマと同じように腐食体を連れた剣士とも巡り合い。
And yes, that was related to the girl. Yes, she's cute. Uh-huh.
とどめはきちんとさせ。
Oh no, that voice. Oh no, she's super hot now.
エマとクーは同じく汚れの力を宿していて、互いにその力を影響させ合いながら戦います。例えばエマが敵の動きを見極め攻撃を受け流すと、クーに力がたまり開花技という強力な効果を持った技を発動できます。
Wow. Okay.
そして、開花技を放てばさらに次のアクションの選択肢に幅が広がります。例えばある開花技を使うと、エマは彼岸花の大輪を咲かせ、その大輪に跳躍して兜割りを行うことができます。また別の開花技を使えば敵を縛り、エマの強力な
I'm not 100% sure about how I feel about the battle system in this game, but it's not horrible. Let me say that it's not horrible.
攻撃を敵に叩き込むことができます。開花技の選択中は時間がスローになり、考える時間が生まれます。ターンベースの RPG コマンドのように考えることになります。スキルを磨くほどにエマとクーの連携は研ぎ澄まされていきます。互いに補い合う関係で2人は常につながっているんです。エマとクーにはそれぞれスキルツリーがあり、エマが行動すれば
It's a literal skill tree. It's a literal skill tree. Of course it is.
クーに影響を与え、クーが行動すればエマに影響が与えられるようにしました。またエマとクーの親密度が上昇するにつれて装備できるスキルも多くなります。さまざまなスキルを組み合わせることで独自のプレイスタイルを作っていくことができるんです。さらにエマとクーを結びつける霊秘石やエマが受け流しを行った際に発動する刀の効果を重ね、
The menus. Yeah. They aren't bad or anything like that. They're fine.
ていくことなどでより奥深い戦闘ができるようになっています。遠距離だけで戦う人もいればステルスだけで戦う人もいますし、常にエマで戦闘を仕掛ける人もいればクーを先行させて戦わせる人もいます。エマとクーでどのような装備でどのような霊秘石と組み合わせて戦うのか、プレイヤーの皆さん次第です。皆さんがどんな意外な組み合わせを生み出すのか、今からとても楽しみです。
I completely dig the world. I really like the world they are building there. I really do.
はるか昔に汚れに追い尽くされた美しくも過酷な新たな世界。企画構想から6年間、 私たちはこの世界に数えきれない秘密や奥深い魅力を散りばめることに全力を注いできました。すべてのプレイヤーの皆さんにビースト・オブ・リンカネーションの世界を体験していただける日が待ちきれません。本作は今年の夏 Xbox、PC、そしてプレイステーションでリリースされます。
It comes out on PlayStation 2. Isn't that something? This guy's speaking Japanese. Yes, it's a Japanese studio.
さらにビースト・オブ・リンカネーションは発売初日から Xbox ゲームパスでプレイ可能です。ぜひウィッシュリストにご登録ください。ゲームフリークが挑む渾身の新作、どうぞご期待ください。
Yeah, this game is actually something that I would like to play. I'm not kidding. This game, yes, absolutely. The graphics look good. The characters look good. The world looks interesting. The story seems to be interesting. I'm just unsure about the fighting system. But that's it. So I can't say anything negative about this game that comes into my mind right now. There's nothing. I mean, sure, the graphics in some parts don't look absolutely perfect. I don't care about that. It's very graphically very more coherent than Forza 6, which we have seen before. Do you guess it tomorrow? I might not even stream tomorrow. And I told you next week. Let's go to the next. Wait. Half the videos left and there's only one studio left? I don't like this. Wait, what? This is a different... What? This is so stupid. Number one. If you would do pottery, you wouldn't wear rings. Number two, why those faces? Stop it, please.
Oh, hello. I'm Tim Schafer, founder and studio head of Double Fine Productions. And this is Elizabeth Larkin, senior tools programmer and junior in-house ceramicist. At Double Fine, we try to take a little time every so often to create quick game prototypes.
Wait, what? What? I have to go back on that. What? I need to listen to that.
Founder and studio head of Double Fine Productions. And this is Elizabeth Larkin, senior tools programmer and junior in-house ceramicist.
Senior tools programmer. Okay.
At Double Fine, we try to take a little time every so often to create quick game prototypes. Anyone in the company can pitch a game idea, and we have a vote on which ones we want to try to make.
Okay.
We forget the projects we're currently working on, basically get amnesia, and we do this for 2 weeks. That's a fortnight. And we build a few...
I don't think that's a good idea. Tomorrow's sun, is it now? What are you talking about, Jesse?
These experimental game prototypes. We call this process Amnesia Fortnight. We've had all sorts of great ideas come out of this process. It's just like...
Then why if these ideas were so great, why have I never heard of them?
This clay. With a little bit of pressure and creativity, something interesting is created that wasn't there before. Our next game came out of Amnesia Fortnite. It's all about encouraging you to create with others, and then use what you create to destroy each other.
Why does this have to be so cringe? Oh, right. It was written and directed by a millennial. I hate being a millennial.
Don't worry, it's easy to make a new pot if you're playing Kiln, our online multiplayer pottery party brawler. We love to explore new and original ideas here at Double Fine.
What the fuck? What the fuck was that? No wonder Microsoft is losing money on their games division if they produce shit like that. What? If I would be in charge of Microsoft, the company would make more money and had a better reputation. And I can guarantee you that. Oh god, this is so painful.
Alongside last year's Weird But Chill game Keeper, featuring surreal and dreamlike exploration, Kiln is the other side of that coin, bringing high-energy, expressive multiplayer action. You'll get a chance today to see how we're continuing to foster our spirit of creativity with this next game. Derek Brand spearheaded this pitch, and he's here today to talk about this fully realized Double Fine experience he's leading with his team.
Kiln is a multiplayer party brawler, and it's just as much about the act of trading with your friends as it is fast-paced competitive destruction.
Did he say competitive in a game like this? Good night, Jesse. Be happy you don't have to watch this live with me.
We built this game to respond to your creative design choices, as well as your relentless cruelty to anthropomorphized clay pots. I've spent my career as a concept artist, focused on coming up with unique characters and environments at Double Fine. But I also play a lot of action titles, which got me wondering, what would a game look like that included not just the cathartic element of destruction and action, but the equally cathartic act of creation I was familiar with as an artist? I stumbled on the answer one day. What better solution than a pottery wheel?
I wonder how much this game cost in production. Because I don't think they will make the money back. I absolutely think they won't. Because the player base for a game like this must be very, very small. And it's you can't sell a game like this for $60. So this is more a game like if you actually sell it and it's not free to play, $20 max. And I don't think that there are enough players that want to play a game like this. At least not on PC. They're gonna make nothing? Yeah, that's what I expect.
I wanted to give players the ability to create characters.
By the way, the last thing I have heard is that the gaming division of Microsoft is losing money. Big time.
Out of any shape, and to make sure that what you make has a charming, animated personality. You start off,
and I think
make sure that what you make has a charming, animated personality.
We have found the reason why. This is the reason why they are losing money.
You start off as a little helpless, naked spirit. You're not capable of much in this state. Thankfully, you are capable of manipulating clay, and a pottery wheel is the perfect place for the creation.
Wait. Did that thing just slam its butt on the clay?
Thankfully, you are capable of manipulating clay, and a pottery wheel is the perfect place.
It did. Who is the target audience for this? Children? I hope not.
Place for the creation of a new body. And when it comes time for destruction, those shapes needed to translate into capable fighters. Pots that can compete in challenges in a way that only pots can. Our game mode, Quench, brings all of that together in a 4v4 combat party atmosphere.
It's so dumb.
You and your friends need to balance your pot's shape and abilities with its capacity for carrying water into enemy territory. Here, you'll navigate through the environment with your team's unique creations. Avoid or destroy incoming enemy warriors. And of course, fill your pot up with water to ultimately douse the enemy's kiln and win the game.
Got him once. Now keep at it.
Wait. Is this a pottery version of League of Legends? I don't wanna. This is so painful. They won awards? FNS Special Award, Bilbao 2015. Fun and Serious Game Festival. Never heard of that before. Xbox Game of the Year Awards 2011. Developer of the Year 2011. It has to be AI. The thing is, this trophy is from over 15 years ago. And that one is 2015, so 11 years ago. Is there another?
With Kiln?
There isn't. So, what you're telling me is, they haven't produced anything worth a while since, or released since 2015. I'm not surprised. I look at the people that work there, and I can tell you, yes, of course they didn't.
We wanted to give players what we know they've always wanted from Double Fine.
The Teddy Awards, what the fuck is that? 2024 non-broadcast documentary. 2-player productions. What the fuck? And there's something online service 2-player product. What the fuck are they making? This is a joke? It has to be. And we aren't at Fable yet. Fable is still coming. It's there, here. Oh my god, is there still 37? Oh my god, there's almost 10 minutes more of this.
A best-in-class pottery sim, of course. With this strange concept came lots of design challenges, though, because it's a game about pots that have to transform into bespoke ceramic warriors. We had to figure out how to make an art tool, a character builder, and a loadout system all together, while keeping the whole experience approachable for anyone. Not.
What do you mean? A loadout system? We have loadouts for decades now. What's the problem here? This is as can we skip this section? No, it's React content. We can't skip this. Also, I wanna see how retarded it is. Because this is already retarded. Like, we are at a level of 7 at the retarded scale. That's how stupid this is. And the art isn't even good. Look at the art here. It's not even good. It's... what is this shit?
Just Pottery Masters. After many iterations balancing simulation with arcade-like simplicity, we landed on a design that lets you feel like a master potter who can easily make any pottery shape you could dream of, even if you've never seen a potter's wheel. It's weirdly satisfying. We've carefully married the clay technology with the behavior of the sculpting tools and controls to make sure anyone can pick it up in seconds.
But why?
Refine it with sponges, shapers, and straight edge tools to get specific and make it yours.
Also, reminder, that tool there, it has an ass. Why? Ask the developers.
As you sculpt, you'll notice the game recognizing the different shapes you've made. It'll automatically detect when you're shaping things like cups, vases, bowls, and many more.
So that means we had to ask ourselves, if I was a vase, and this vase that I just made was now my body, what can I, as a vase, do?
Yeah, this is so dumb.
Every pot and kiln needs to have a core set of moves fit for a warrior. To run, jump, attack, and roll. They also must have moves fit for a pot to fill up with water and then splash the water out. Each shape has its own unique way of performing these moves. And because your shape matters, the animation team has taken on the challenge of bringing those different pot shapes to life in surprising ways. In addition to these core moves, each shape...
Yeah, you can tell this game was developed by women. You can tell that the head spear of, yeah, let's make this game, was a woman. Because it's so retarded. I can't explain it a different way. It's just so retarded. And you... I don't want to be that guy, but I'm gonna be that guy. You can look at these women and you know that they think they are so smart, so clever, that they can't even conceive that what they are doing is retarded. Don't get me wrong. I'm calling myself retarded all the time because, you know, when I do stupid shit, which I do, I'm retarded. Yeah, completely.
Also has its own special attack, which we push to be the most fun and over-the-top moments in the game. Cups popping popcorn, bottles turning into swords, jugs blaring like megaphones, plates flinging pies. Everyone's shape is doing something different and exciting.
Do they though? I haven't seen anything exciting about this at all. And what is this disco? Why? Just why? If you look at this still here, does this look like anything you would like to play? They named the bomb after you? No, they didn't. Unless you mean the fat boy. But I'm not a boy, I'm a man. How do you get from art like this into what we have seen in the game? How? This looks fine. This looks just fine. But everything I've seen in-game, I just want to rip out my eyes.
As you fight over the water on the battlefield and try to extinguish your opponent's kiln, you'll have to pay attention to each map's unique nuances. Our mantra of shape matters carries over into our maps. We specifically designed our maps to integrate with how you choose to play and what pot you choose to play as. So you'll see things like secret tunnels that only fit certain size pots and pathways that are only traversed.
Okay, that's clever. That's clever. I like that. The snake-eyed tail fin retarded bomb. I have no idea what you mean. No idea.
Reversible with certain shapes.
Yeah, that design is good and it makes sense, but it's not new. We have seen that 100 times in 10,000 games. It's nothing new, nothing special. You have that too. Okay, yeah, fine. Next. And why is the fire so low res looking while other things are seemingly so high res? I don't know. I'm confused by the graphics. It was named after her. After who? I have no idea what you're talking about. No clue.
You'll fight on fractured, floating pieces of ancient history, like an ancient Greek nightclub fit for Dionysus.
Did I hear that right? Let's hear that again.
Floating pieces of ancient history, like an ancient Greek nightclub fit for Dionysus.
An ancient Greek nightclub. AKA the thing that didn't exist. This game is made by retards for retards. Oh. I just had the thought about ripping out my fake teeth that I have in the front, which would rip out the stumps they are attached to. That's the thought that I had just right now. That's what this game makes me feel. It makes me want to hurt myself. So the retarded stops.
It's even got a dance floor. Navigate Athena's giant strategic war map. Inflating sponge warriors with water to rearrange the battlefield to your advantage.
Okay, that's fine, but that's just placing a wall. We can literally do that in Arc Raiders right now. You don't even think retard would get the game? Yeah, they would play something that's fun. And do you see the stark contrast here? The floor tiling is super detailed, looks super shiny and realistic, and then you have the walls of the canyon thingy here. Looks like it comes from a completely different game. Man, I'm getting angry at this shit. Don't Falschrad, don't let the retards get to you. Don't.
Fight in the Egyptian god Set's dingy punk venue, complete with a mosh pit where only one pot can emerge unbroken.
Leverage your unique creations. Everything from your size, your capacity to carry water, your speed to cross the battlefield, and other choices you can make will define how you want to approach your playstyle. Do you want a team full of large cups, maximizing your dousing potential?
Go back down, baby!
Or a team of tiny ninja saucers ready to quickly smash up anything that gets in their way? Or a unique combination you've discovered that balances power and splashability?
By the way, the sound design here, I feel like I hear talking. I hear the gameplay sound. And I think I hear two different music tracks. Two different music tracks. And I'm sitting here, I think my brain is about to explode. What? Who edited this shit?
If you're skilled enough to end up at the enemy kiln with lots of water, you can unleash a powerful super splash ability that does tons of damage and makes the kiln vulnerable to further attacks, letting you and your team dunk on the enemy kiln to either win big or turn the tide and make a comeback.
And that is how it's done.
At the end of a round...
What is this design? Man, I wanna go back to the Japanese game. It was way better. Jesus Christ. What a stark contrast. I think it's 100% true that Western developers are a bunch of retards that don't know what they are doing. And then you have the Asians that make literal art. Jesus Christ, this is... At least it's over in 3 minutes.
The cycle of creation and destruction loops around again, and now you're back in the wedge, a multiplayer lobby where you can hang at the wheel and make something cool with your friends. You've just earned XP points and chips from battle. Now you can load up on art supplies and expand your pot-making options.
Don't tell me there is a real money shop.
I think of the game being so much about the fighting, but when people play it, they just want to create all day long.
Yes, and why can't that be the game? If they would have made the game just create pottery stuff with your friends in a lobby and have fun, that would have been fine. But the rest of the game is, I think it's completely retarded. Man.
Our decoration system was designed to support your creativity. As we did with the design of the sculpting process, we looked to the pottery studio for inspiration. We found ways to translate the experience of adding spouts, lids, and handles, as well as glazing to kiln. Every design choice we made ultimately serves the goal of enabling a near infinite range of possibilities. We can't wait to see what your favorite designs are.
Dicks. I guarantee you dicks. Dicks will be the one thing that most people will make. Her voice is annoying. That's what you said. I can't say that. If I say that, it's bullying. And I get banned. Lead character artist. Oh, buddy.
It's all about my pizza party themed small jug. It becomes a drill that can dive under enemies, and it pops up with a special delivery of destruction.
It's pissing you off? Jesus. She really ticked you off, right? But I can understand that.
I love a medium jug, a simple handle, a 2-layer watermelon glaze, and I'm ready to bring the good vibes into the chaos.
My favorite is the large vase.
I will not say it. I will not say what I just thought when I heard her voice. I will not.
It has a UFO-like animation, and it's great for team defense and protecting your Bix.
Hands down, the best pot shape is a small bowl. It's perfect for sneaking past enemies. Plus, its ice cream theme special is so cute.
Yeah. If you have a game studio full of women and unmanly men, they produce a game like that, yeah.
One of my favorite warrior pots has to be the medium base. It's decently fast for invading enemy players and matches.
Told you.
The decorations really make it shine. A curved elbow spout, Cupid's handle, some spiked charms with a rainbow glaze, and one butt sticker.
You are in the UK, you're probably gonna get arrested. Yeah. That can, oh no. Number one, of course they make a rainbow thing. And two, of course they put an ass on it. Literally, there's an ass. Yeah. This is all we need to know about the studio. All we need to know. This is symbolizing it perfectly. This is this is the perfect example what's wrong with the studio.
You can't go wrong with butt stickers.
My favorite pots? Use the absolute most material possible to make the biggest pots possible. I call it tiny.
Whichever pot you decide to create, whether you're a budding artist or a seasoned gamer, you'll be fulfilling your pottery power fantasies when Kiln launches in spring 2026 on Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. This is just the beginning of the Pottery Party as we bring regular updates throughout the year with expanded decorations, new activities and game modes, and much more. Creating is more fun together, and we'd love your help sculpting this experience. Be on the lookout to throw down with fellow Double Fine fans and join the Double Fine Action Insiders for an even earlier look and a chance to play in our closed beta very soon.
You want me to say
Closed beta? Oh my god, yes. Will it be on Steam too? Oh my god. We will have player numbers. This is this makes you want to kill yourself. Yeah. Yeah, I get that. I get that 100%.
5 times? That's mean. Am I supposed to be? Okay. This game is called Kiln, an online multiplayer party pottery brawler. Online multiplayer party brawler. I'll never do it twice. Okay, I can do it again.
You aren't funny. Please just shut up. Please.
Online multiplayer pottery brawler. It's getting better. Online multiplayer pottery party brawler.
Kiln. K-I-L-N. Kiln. I'm not sure what to think about that name. I know what I think about the art. It's typical Western art style. Just shit. Yeah, this is shit. It's just shit. It's shit on a stick. You wanna know where they are based? Probably somewhere in the US. Most likely. Okay, I go and take a piss because oh, Jesus, I need a pause. I need a pause. This was so painful that I need a pause. Guys, I need a pause. But now we are getting to, you know, Fable. Just a second. Just a second. Okay. Okay. Here we are. So, now we're coming to the actual highlight of this video, which is the Fable stream video. The Fable part, yeah, there. No, we are talking about it when it's showing, the part that, you know, some young people there might have not seen before. Oh my god. We are already over the 90-minute mark and the video's already at 37 minutes. Man. Oof. The retards are gone. Yeah, hippie. Yeah. Don't say it loud.
Hi, welcome to Playground Games, where I'm thrilled to share our very first deep dive into a game we've been making here for a really, really long time. Fable.
Yeah. And so far, no one, whenever they shown something about this game, no one was impressed. Everyone hated it. Because of a certain reason. And I'm curious if that's still in the game. AKA the main character. And how it looks. And yes, I said how it looks. You will see why. And if not, I will tell.
Playground Games is renowned for fun, immersive, and...
Yeah, again, I showed it in the beginning, and we are showing it again. The game runs at maybe 30 FPS.
Playground Games is renowned for fun, immersive, and visually stunning open-world experiences.
It's open world, so the story will be almost non-existent. That's what open world usually means.
Since 2010, we've been developing the Forza Horizon series right here in Royal Leamington Spa, a charming little town in the middle of England.
Oh, that's bad. That's really bad.
As Horizon has grown, so have we. Over the past few years, we've built a new team to carry that reputation into a new genre that we are incredibly passionate about.
Right, because the old Fable games, they were made by a different studio. The studio, were they all made by the same studio? I don't remember. I actually don't remember. But I remember that the first two Fable games were led by Peter Molyneux, who is well known for being kind of a scam artist. You know, saying, oh my god, this game is going to be so good. And then it comes out and it's basically nothing like that. How do you delete a comment? I have no idea. Well, actually, yeah, there should be the three dots at the behind your comment.
Fable is Playground's first open-world action RPG, and we couldn't be more proud to be carrying on the work of the legendary Lionhead Studios, the original creators of the franchise.
Yeah.
And although our game is a new beginning, I think what we're making is...
I wonder why they don't exist anymore.
...is really faithful to the spirit of the classic Lionhead trilogy that we all love.
Okay, the graphics... But I can't tell if... I want to say I can't tell if this is in-game graphics or not, but I don't believe it is. I don't think.
At the heart of our game is a simple, recurring question. What does it mean to you to be a hero? Our game is about choices and their consequences. It's packed with action, drama, British humour, moral dilemmas, and quite a few chickens. All of this combines in a fairy tale which could only be Fable.
Sure. By the way, they're saying all of this while, you know, oh yeah, Fable is this massive franchise that everyone loves. It's not. Fable is actually kind of niche, and a lot of people that played Fable, I've played Fable 1, and I didn't like it at all. And a lot of people that played Fable 1 haven't played Fable 2 and 3 because they were so disappointed by Fable 1. Because the games were getting worse over time.
Classic Fable fashion, you begin the game as a child, growing up in the sleepy rural village of Briar Hill.
Oh no.
It's here that in a moment of extreme danger, your heroic powers first emerge, and we discover that you are Albion's first hero in a generation. But not long afterwards, disaster strikes, and the people of your village, including your beloved grandma, are turned to stone by a mysterious stranger. Suddenly alone in the world, you'll set off on an adventure which will change Albion forever.
Venturing out into the world is a huge moment, because this is Albion like you've never seen it before.
That's the art director, okay. The white dude, that's a positive.
Idyllic rolling hills, magical forests, bustling villages, sleepy hamlets, oversized vegetable patches,
and
stunning vistas.
Sure.
And because our Albion is truly open world...
But is this actually in-game, or is that some pre-rendered CGI thing? You know, that's the question that I'm asking here, because we don't know.
For the first time, you'll be able to explore this rich and detailed world seamlessly, with the freedom to go where you want from early in the game.
We can't wait.
I think they said the same thing about the first game and the second. Maybe even the third.
To welcome you back to Albion's iconic capital city, Bowerstone.
No one cares.
Home to Fairfax Castle.
Why does that remind me of the Lord of the Rings? The two towers, the Minas Tirith, there it is. I wonder why.
The old clock tower and the legendary Heroes Guild.
It's a huge city, full of contrasts. Rich and poor, nobles and commoners, royalty and criminals. You'll spend plenty of time here during the game, as you discover the secrets of the Heroes Guild and its reclusive guildmaster, Humphrey the Golden.
And here we are. The reason everyone hated this, the first time we have seen anything, this character. It's still in the game. They haven't changed it. When they first showed a trailer for the game and that character showed up, everyone was like, oh my god, why is it so ugly? Well, it's based on an employee that's a transsexual. That's why it's so ugly. There, I said it. And they haven't changed it, so... Now we know. Now we know what we can expect from this game. And yes, this alone might tarnish the game's reputation so badly that people will not play it. I mean, I won't. For two reasons. Number one, I don't care. Number two, ugly character. I don't want to play an ugly character. Especially not a woman. I can't get over playing an old guy, you know, because I'm an old guy. But at least I can make him be cool. But this, no. No.
In the north of Albion, you'll find mountains, craggy coastlines, spooky marshes, and the bleak, windswept city of Bloodstone. Here, you'll meet the leaders of two rival gangs, vying for power, and uncover the secrets of the sinister but extremely well-organized Cult of Shadows. Our Albion
Cult of Shadows. The most generic name you can give anything. What the fuck is this? And by the way, fantasy game.
And is beautiful, handcrafted, and richly detailed.
In Albion, heroes are special, different. They're stronger than regular people. They're more skillful, more charismatic.
Sure.
More importantly, they're those rare humans who can harness and use magic in the world around them.
Sure.
They have the power to do what they want.
And so do you. In our game, we want you to play as the hero you want to be. And that starts with being able to choose how your hero character looks.
Oh,
so, in Fable, you'll be able to pick from a range of different character heads and customize your clothing, hair, skin tone, tattoos, and scars. So the hero you play represents you.
But as well...
Can I be a big titted chick that's super hot? As far as I can see, not.
As your appearance, you can be the hero you want to be
No
through the
strength.
way you play, through the skills and abilities you learn, and through the weapons you use.
Just like the classic trilogy, heroes in our game fight with a combination of strength, skill, and will. Seamlessly blending melee and ranged weapons with magical abilities gives us style-weaving combat.
Yeah.
Allowing you to show off your personal playstyle against single opponents and large groups of enemies alike. Melee is at the heart of our close quarters combat. You'll use light and heavy combos.
The melee combat, I'm not so sure about this. This is yeah, not looking that great. The magic looks fine though.
Often knocking enemies off balance and executing stylish finishers. Swap to your ranged weapon to bypass enemy guard and deal with troublesome flying enemies. And of course, you'll be able to unleash your powerful spells to both manipulate and devastate your opponents.
Sure.
We're excited to be bringing back some fan-favorite adversaries for you to fight.
Yeah, it feels like with every hit, the game slightly pauses. And it's not the game that pauses, it's the animation kind of freezes. It's I really hate that. I really do.
Hobbs are back, as are Balverines, Hollowfolk, and Trolls.
And we're adding brand new enemies too, like this fearsome cockatrice, a giant fire-breathing chicken. Each enemy family is different, with their own weaknesses to exploit and defenses to overcome. But with all the unique tools in your combat toolbox, how you defeat your enemies is up to you.
Yeah, whatever. That effect looks great.
But there's more to being a hero in Albion than fighting. So much more. When we talk to people about their favorite memories of the original games, so many of their stories are about the stuff you can do when you weren't just being a hero. The normal, everyday stuff which happened when you interacted with the people of Albion.
For me, what I remember most vividly are the inhabitants of Albion and the things you can do with them, or to them.
That's all a lie.
The crazy thing about the classic Fable games was that in the middle of a sprawling RPG was almost a complete other game where you could just mess around with the villages and townsfolk.
And we've built that same experience in the middle of our game too.
Sure.
Buying a house, getting a job, making some money.
Romancing a villager.
Why does that need to be a minigame? Why? Why? It doesn't.
Getting married. Having kids.
Fancy a date?
Perfect. You can get to know me better.
Buying another house. Buying every house in Albion. Buying every business in Albion. Getting rich.
Marrying a bunch more people. Having a bunch more kids.
Wait.
Probably getting divorced.
I have... So, both are black.
House in Albion. Buying every business in Albion.
getting rich.
Black kid,
marrying a bunch more people.
That looks kind of white. No, it's not. White skin tone. It makes no sense.
Having a bunch more kids. Probably getting.
Why are the children of the black couple different skin tones? Just asking questions.
Divorced along the way for good measure.
And this game within a game is unique to Fable. It's systemic, interconnected, and you see the ripple effects of the things you do everywhere you go.
And all of this revolves around the people who live in Albion, who we call the living population.
Sure.
There are more than 1,000 of them, and every single one is unique. Each of
1,000, that's not a lot. It sounds a lot, but it isn't really.
them has a name, a role, a daily routine, and their own personality. You could follow any one of them for a day and just watch them live their life.
AKA being a stalker.
They'll get up, go to work, spend some leisure time on hobbies, then go home to bed.
But what's even cooler is that you can talk to every single one of them in fully voiced conversations and interact with them in loads of different ways. Maybe the job they go to is working for you because you hired them to work in one of your businesses.
Sure.
Hey, you. Working hard? How can I help you, boss?
Maybe the bed they sleep in is in a house you own because you're the landlord.
Or maybe their bed is on the street because you evicted them.
All right.
Oh, it's you. You're awful.
You know what's funny? I bet you can make a really good argument out of, or even a video out of it, that all the black people own stuff, own houses, renting out, while the white dude is homeless. Do we want to go there? We don't need to. They did it. Man, they aren't even subtle in their, you know, how they see the world or think how it should be.
And all of the stuff you do affects what they think of you.
You're a legend.
Because everything you do builds your reputation.
Very impressive. Now that's an hero right there.
Morality has always been super important to Fable. That tension between good and evil underpinned all of the original games. And morality is central to our game too. But we have a slightly different take on it.
For us, morality...
Also funny how the world here is super diverse. Diverse. AKA having a lot of different ethnic groups living there. Which is super unrealistic, by the way. I hope you didn't ban the term viewers, because there might be a legitimate use of that, you know.
Isn't black and white. There are lots of grey areas. And importantly, morality is subjective. No two people see things exactly the same way. And that's how it works in our game too.
Everything you do earns you a reputation. And every person in Albion will have a different reaction to you as a result.
Hello there.
Yeah, we get it. You're rich.
They'll remember things you did to...
What the fuck was that? She sounds like a fucking Karen. Dumb whore.
Directly to them, they'll love you or hate you for the choices you make, and they will always tell you why. Although, usually from a safe distance.
Our game will never judge you, but the people of Albion will, loudly.
Imbecile.
Your reputation is created by the choices you make, and you are going to make a lot of them. Big choices, little choices, moral choices, and some choices that will actually change the landscape of Albion for the rest of your game. We call this idea, Your Choices Change the World. Let's give you an example.
Early in the game, you'll meet a character named Dave, an egotistical gardener in a rural village who discovers a magical growth formula. He accidentally turns himself into a giant and becomes a big problem. It'll be your job to deal with him, and ultimately it will be your choice whether to kill him or to spare him. If you kill him, his giant corpse will lie on the farmland just outside of town for the rest of the game.
And that is going to affect house prices. It will also affect what a lot of the villagers think about you.
Especially Dave's sister.
In Fable, the choices you make will define you. What does being a hero?
Funny thing that the majority of the characters in this European-style fantasy game aren't even white. Like, basically all the characters... Wait. Oh my god. The player character that was called Rich, or whatever, was white. He literally got all the negative things, while all the brown people, when they were man characters, were getting the good stuff. The good reactions. Oh my god. I bet there is... If I would be really, really deep into conspiracy theories, am I already lost here? Am I too deep into this? But yeah, it's shit.
Mean to you?
At Playground Games, we've built a pedigree for beautiful, immersive, open-world experiences. Yes, they've typically involved sports cars, but this is a passion project for all of us here.
Sure.
Every member of this team, which we've built from scratch, has two key things in common: a deep love for the franchise and a burning desire to bring it back. We're making this for Fable fans just like us, but also to introduce Fable to gamers who've never played the series before. It's been great to finally tell you a little about the game we're making. There'll be much more to share as we get closer to our launch. I'm excited to tell you today that Fable is coming to Xbox, PC, and PlayStation in autumn 2026.
Oh boy.
From all of us here, thanks for watching.
I'm so not gonna play this. Oh, there's more? No. Wait. No, there isn't. There's now a little recap. Okay. Yeah. This has been a shit show. I think this sums up the entire thing. They had one good game this year. The game that's being developed in Japan. That's the only good one. It's the only good game they've shown today. I hate this. No, not this. I like that. But the rest, yeah. It's either I don't give a fuck or it's cringe, bitch ass shit. It's horrible. I hate my life. I wanna... You know what? Let's switch stuff up. Let's do something fun. How AI actually sees races in World of Warcraft. That's what we do now. Let's have some fun. I mean, to be fair, this already looks great. Looks better than World of Warcraft. This looks incredible. And I'm horny. Thank you. No. No, don't make the space goods this hot, please. I mean, in the mind of us players, they always were this hot, but seeing them being this hot, it's it's really hurting, you know, that they aren't in game. Same. Oh my god, this oh my god, this looks so cool. Yeah, I by the way, I wish I had a beard like this. But so far, no. Yeah. This is how the movie should have looked like. People would have loved it. And yes, these Tauren look so cool. So awesome. I don't know why they have nipples though. That doesn't make sense. Oh, the undead. Yeah, nice. A gnome. And it doesn't look cringe. Great. Good work, AI. You did what people couldn't. They already look, and the orcs in World of Warcraft already look like this in the CGI cutscenes, the thingies. So yeah, we already knew how they would look like. Always great. Stop smiling at me. Stop this. Why is this so? Why does this make me so happy? Stop it. Stop making me horny and happy at the same time. Man, she looks awesome. By the way, a mage. I can tell by her robe. Looks a little off. A dwarf torn blood elf. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, 100%. Yeah. Can see that. Yeah, looks great. A troll. Yes. The trolls shouldn't walk upright like that, though. But yeah. This tower looks awesome. And hot blood elf. Of course. And this is a dwarf. Yes, this is a dwarf. Wait, a dwarf? Right. They might have introduced Warlord to the dwarves somewhere in the past. I don't remember. Yeah, this looks great. Oh no. Oh my god, that's cool. Yeah, looks great. Ah, it's a gnome. I think it's a gnome. Why is he so huge compared to the others? Yeah, that looks very... That's impressive, yeah. By the way, Paladin. A rogue, of course. And that's a shaman. Yeah. Man, she's super pretty. Can you tell that I have a thing for Draenei woman? I really need an eye tracker for videos like this. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's cool. Oh, Night Elf. With this shoulder things, it's a priest. It has to be a priest. Can't be a druid. This is also a mage. Warrior, yeah. Nice. I like them ladies tall. I really do. I really, really do. Oh my god, this looks so cool. No string. Female orcs are the only woman I can see a nose ring and don't think they're crazy. This looks great. Wait, is this was that a female Tauren? It was. Okay. Yeah, that's a shaman, 100%. Oh, it's good? No shaman. That's likely a paladin, maybe a warrior. More troll action. Oh my god. Oh, that guy looks cool. Yeah, that's a druid. Maybe Malfurion. Yeah, that was awesome.
It's kind of weird. So, you know, Freud said depression.
Stop. Here is the link. You also getting a link. I didn't forget you. Yeah, this was nice. This was awesome. Awesome stuff. Really good. This was so good. It's Marv on the next Arc Raiders. We don't do that yet. He got exposed. I'm actually don't want to watch this right now. This is embarrassing? What is embarrassing? I don't even remember what I put here. It's so long ago. Oh, we are watching this. They created a game they don't understand. Why is Tarkov dying? Oh, I have a guess. It has to do with greed. Let me, come on, let me. Quality auto, no. 1080p. Oh, come on. Load properly.
Let me take you on a journey back in time. The year is 2015, If you were sitting down to game, you were probably checking out some of the new RPGs like The Witcher 3, Bloodborne, or maybe checking out the new Destiny expansion, The Taken King. If first-person shooter PvP was more your style, you were probably hopping into some Battlefield Hardline or maybe Call of Duty.
Battlefield Hardline? Oh my god. I played the beta of that game. It was okay. Literally, it was just okay. Nothing special at all.
Duty Black Ops 3. This was a completely different time in gaming. This was even before the great Battle Royale takeover of 2017. The groundwork had started to be laid with H1Z1's Battle Royale.
Yep.
Nobody knew what was about to happen in that genre. The point is, games had been pretty similar to each other up until this point. If you wanted single player, there were a lot of action RPGs focused on big open worlds and parkour movement mechanics. If you wanted first-person shooter PvP, you had your classic set of arena shooters trying to iterate on what came before them and not really innovate on the genre as a whole.
Yeah, true.
And then, in November of that very same year, we saw this.
Yeah. The music doesn't go hard.
A gritty, frenetic, hardcore first-person shooter that seemed to be more focused on immersion and chaos. A game where you can get snuck up on and killed instantly. A game where you limp around when you get shot in the leg. And a game that lets you customize your gun with an unprecedented amount of control. Now,
I liked it, but I also hated it because it was... It was, to a certain part, too overwhelming, too complicated. When it comes to the guns, you know, the gun building. The gameplay itself is fine. It's not really my cake.
This could be different. Fast forward to 2017, and not a lot happened in the FPS PvP space. More Battlefields, more Call of Duties.
Yeah.
You want the numbers, Mason?
Ultimately, a lot more of the same. And absolutely nothing showcases gamers' desire for a new and novel experience like the meteoric rise of the Battle Royale. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, aka PUBG, released on March 23rd, and by the end of the summer, it was reaching 1.5 million concurrent players on Steam, and the Battle Royale craze had begun. And in the shadow of that, in the summer of 2017, we got this.
Really? Same year?
Escape from Tarkov enters open beta in June of 2017, but the Battle Royale genre kind of overshadowed it. And to be honest, that was probably...
Which is fair for several reasons. One is that Escape from Tarkov is a hardcore game. It really is. It's very complicated. It has a lot of things in it that makes it just kind of tedious to play, you know. The two kinds of bleeding, where you need two kinds of things, two different things to stop the bleeding. That's just annoying. That's just one example.
A good thing for Tarkov. Battle Royales were a much needed change of pace in the PvP space. It achieved this by combining PvP with progression. This was the secret sauce of BRs. Progression in FPS PvP arena shooters pretty much all exists outside of the actual gameplay. You would play some matches, gain some XP, maybe level up your character, level up your weapons, then you would go play more matches, maybe you would prestige, so that you could go play more matches and level up some more. And sure, progressing did have some bearing on the actual gameplay. You could unlock more weapons or more attachments for your guns, but none of that progression happened in...
Imagine having to unlock guns in a multiplayer game. How bad is that? I really don't... I'm not a fan of that concept.
In the match you were currently playing, you couldn't find that new gun you were trying to unlock. You were just trying to get enough XP so that you could use it next round. Even committing to a ranked grind in a game is largely an external progression. You want to play well so that after this match, you can rank up. Ranking up doesn't mean you have better gear, just better opponents. I promise this is a video about Tarkov. I'm getting there, trust me. Battle Royales worked so well because it brought progression into the game that you are playing right now.
Yeah.
Everybody starts with nothing, and then you loot and fight and loot and fight, and hopefully you are becoming more and more powerful as the round progresses. And there are inherently high stakes involved. At any time, you could get killed by another player, and you would lose all that progression.
Action is coming.
And that's what makes the game so good. Or those games, plural.
Action is coming. Action is coming.
You lost all that loot that you were gathering, and now you had to queue in and start over. And PvP was an essential component here. Being crowned the champion over the 100 people that queued in with you only works when it's real people that you now feel superior over.
Ooh.
Fighting 100 bots to be crowned the winner just isn't that compelling. They took PvP.
It depends on the person. And on the bots. If the bots are completely retarded, then yeah, you don't care. But if they are good, yeah, why not? I can see that working. Not for the majority of people, but a certain group of players, yeah, like me. Battle Royale single player, where you fight bots. Yeah, why not? I mean, no one tried that yet. I mean, why wouldn't it work?
Added progression in the match you were actually playing, which created the high stakes of potentially losing that progression, which created a level of tension and stress that slowly rises as the match plays out and boils over in one last showdown to be crowned the winner. And the beauty of a battle royale is that it's simple. You either win or you lose, and you queue up and try again.
When you play the game of Fortnite, you win, or you go back to the lobby.
And now, as a result of the flood of battle royales in the market, you have literally tens of millions of gamers across the world getting used to progression, getting accustomed to high stakes, and getting addicted to that tension.
Yes.
And then Tarkov finally steps in the room and asks if you're ready for the big leagues. If in addition to all that, you want the final and most important ingredient to the game that will ruin your life. And that ingredient is pain.
Yeah. And let me tell you, Escape from Tarkov is pain. It's really painful. It really is. There is a reason why I was ratting on Shoreline, getting the hidden stashes, not even going into the big loot areas.
From about late 2019 through 2022, a couple of years after the BR craze started, Tarkov saw its own meteoric rise in popularity. I don't think it ever really came close to the magnitude that Battle Royales had, but it definitely had an impact. So much so that many see extraction shooters as the next genre of games that every studio wants to get their grubby little hands on. And Tarkov worked not because it was polished or optimized or bug-free. Tarkov worked because it did the same thing Battle Royales did, but it cranked everything to 11. You like progression? Well, Tarkov merged internal and external progression. In addition to finding loot that can help you throughout the raid you're actively in, you now have 250 quests spread across 11 maps that will slowly drive you insane.
Oh my God!
You like high stakes? Well, when you die, you lose all your stuff. But instead of queuing into another game where everyone's on the same playing field as you, you have to gear up for another raid. And if you keep dying, you get poorer and poorer until you slowly become cannon fodder for the Giga Chads. You like PvP? Well, now you get to disrespect someone you kill in a brand new way by not only taking the stuff that they found in this raid, but the stuff that they may have spent hours grinding for and add it to your stash as you slowly amass your wealth. You like tension? Well, know that in this game, at literally...
it feels good playing that, doing those things. It does. I like it. I really do. There's literally nothing else to it. I like it.
Literally, any moment, you can take one single bullet to the head, eyes, and lose your best gun, your best ammo, and your best armor to a scab who literally laughs at you while you hit the ground. Tarkov took everything to the extreme right after Battle Royales had primed a lot of gamers to want to see how far the rabbit hole goes. And in a hardcore, gritty, realistic aesthetic with all the gun porn you could ever dream of, and it's no wonder why Tarkov took off like it did. No matter when you joined Tarkov, whether it was in 2018 like myself or recently, we all know the feeling of being hopelessly addicted to this game, but also hating ourselves for playing it. Like an alcoholic staring into the fridge, deciding if they want one more beer.
Someone has been in my room and taken my beers away from my room.
I don't think so.
We too stare at our monitors looking at the killed in action screen going, just one more raid. Now, I take you on this journey for a few reasons. One is to remind you of how much Tarkov really did change the face of PvP gaming right after the Battle Royale genre did the same thing.
Yeah, I can see that.
And two is to assert that in its very nature, Tarkov has always been hardcore. And now we're at the present.
Yes, 100%. What? 100%. Absolutely. Yes. Escape from Tarkov is hardcore. Yes. It's as much hardcore as Arc Raiders is casual. That's why I prefer Arc Raiders. On top of, the enemies are way more interesting. And the world. And overall the gameplay. I like that just way better in Arc Raiders than Escape from Tarkov. And the copy is not as sleazy. Yeah, that's a thing too.
Tarkov generated a lot of buzz, both positive and negative, by announcing and detailing their recent hardcore wipe. And on the surface, it seemed like Tarkov was doing what Tarkov does, dialing the challenge up to 11. And it was even kind of touted as a way to get back to the roots of what Tarkov used to be. But the more they explained it, the less sense it made to me. The changes they were making didn't seem like old Tarkov, and it didn't seem hardcore. It didn't seem like they knew what that meant.
Wait, what do you mean not hardcore? What did they say? I haven't been in the Tarkov scene in years. I stopped playing this game, I think, 3 years ago. Oh, tits. Yeah.
Or at the very least, that my definition of hardcore was different than theirs. Because to me, Tarkov had always been hardcore, just used to be less annoying. So the question is, why did we need a hardcore wipe? And specifically, why did Battlestate Games think we needed one? To understand this, we have to understand what's been happening to Tarkov over the past few years.
Okay.
And I think I might have figured it out.
Tell me.
It all starts with this question. Has Tarkov gotten easier or harder? Now, if you're newer to the game, you're going to have to bear with me here because I think this is actually at the center of what BSG misunderstands about Escape from Tarkov. If you've been playing Tarkov for a while, you probably had a visceral reaction to me asking that question, but I am here to say that Tarkov has gotten easier and harder, and it got old.
Old?
It all depends on how
Well, to be fair, it's slowly approaching 20 years. It has been out since 2016, 17? Okay, it's 10 years. It's in development for 12, when I remember correctly, something like that. So, yeah. Wait, they had their 1.0 release lately, right? I think last year. Am I wrong? No, I'm correct. Yeah, they released at the end of last year somewhere, right? November, maybe? I don't remember.
you look at the game. Let me explain. In a lot of ways, I would say the mechanics of being inside an Escape from Tarkov raid have undeniably gotten harder over the years.
Yeah, that what you shot, that was an AI scav. And that's...
In a lot of ways, I would say the mechanics of...
Look at it. It runs backwards. And that's why the AI enemies and Arc Raiders are so much better. This is just retarded.
Being inside an Escape from Tarkov raid have undeniably gotten harder over the years. We got mag packing animations and healing animations, which dramatically changed fights. And yes, I remember when people said that these were going to ruin the game. We got inertia and the weight system, which made movement so much more clunky and hard to deal with. We got the found and raid system, which made questing harder. They added multiple rounds of restrictions trying to impede real money trading, or RMT, which meant that now there are limitations on what you can drop and how much you can drop to your friends, which had some interesting side effects, like items being deleted from the game so that no one can loot them in certain circumstances. Great. Also, it goes both ways, meaning there isn't just a limit on how many things you could drop, but also how many things you could hold. We've all seen the videos of people finding 3 or 4 LEDXs on labs and having to leave some of them behind because you're not allowed to carry that many. Wow. We also got a lot of secure container restrictions.
No, that's retarded. That's completely retarded. Fuck that. Fuck that system. What the fuck? That's shit.
Even before the hardcore wipe, the secure container was the most restricted it had ever been. Back in the day, you could put literally anything in there, but now there are restrictions on guns, helmets, cases, thermals, and even certain keys. And in addition to all of those mechanical changes, the amount of items and quests in the game have gone up tremendously, which means that finding any one particular item is harder since the pool of items in the game is so much larger. Also, just in general, you need an insane amount of items now. Like, look at these guides of things you need to save for the hideout or quest.
That's a lot. Arc Raiders has way less. The number one items, the only thing where we have to put in a lot of items is the project for the reset, and then special events. That's it. Not for quests. And the items for quests, you can just... Some are just quest items you have to loot, and others are just some random stuff. It's not even really worth a lot. And you can get, or if they're worth a lot, you can still get them kinda easily. But this is insane.
For Kappa. It's crazy. Also, at any given point, you now have maybe 20 to 30 unique quests at a time, all telling you to go to different places to find different items and kill different things. Now, I am not saying
that's way too much. Way too much. The game is not streamlined. That's bad.
That any or all of these changes are necessarily good or bad. Some of them were well received, some of them maybe even necessary, and some to this day are viewed as the biggest fumbles of all time.
I can see why.
Okay, what are the chances?
I am just saying that a lot of those things have made the experience of being in raid harder or more tedious. There are a few things that have happened over the years that have made raids a little bit easier, such as the addition of surgical kits or stims, but I could make a whole video on the stims and their relation to the weight system and how when BSG tries to balance things by nerfing the Giga Chads, it always disproportionately affects the casuals more, but I'm already fighting for my life with the script, so just go watch my weight system video if you want my thoughts on that. Ultimately, those are some of the ways that Tarkov has gotten harder, but in addition to all those changes, Tarkov has also gotten a lot easier because there are more ways than ever to avoid or bypass all of the friction of Tarkov, including those previous changes I just mentioned.
Okay.
First and foremost is the flea market. This changed looting forever. Now, any item in the game could be converted to rubles, and then those rubles could be converted to any item in the game that you wanted. Now, it's gone through many iterations.
Sure.
The found and raid system that was added to balance the flea has always been convoluted, to say the least, and we've even had them toggle off and on that found and raid flea a couple times. They've continued to try to balance it over the years by restricting high-tier ammo and high-tier armors off the flea, but it undeniably completely shifted the way people think about looting and making money in the game. The flea market was the moment where looting in Escape from Tarkov became less about what you need and more about what sells well. The second thing that allows you to bypass much of the friction of Tarkov is the hideout. The hideout introduced crafting, which allows us to craft things that are sometimes otherwise
I like the hideout. Just in general. I like things like that. I like to build, you know, my own little place for me in the world. That's why I always wanted housing in World of Warcraft, but I never got it. And now that I don't play the game anymore, now they have it.
Purchasable like certain ammos. It also allowed us in many cases to directly craft the items that we need for our quests so that we don't need to go find them. And since items crafted in the hideout are considered found in raid, it was another avenue to turn items that we can buy off the flea market into found in raid items that we can then sell on the flea market. It also introduced the concept of passive income to Tarkov. Not only could you be crafting a ton of things at once that you planned on selling, but the Bitcoin farm meant that as long as you had fuel in your generator, you were making potentially millions of rubles a day without doing anything. Finally, the hideout introduced things like the scav case and the cultist circle, which are ways of potentially getting some of the rarest items in the game, once again, without having to find those items. Instead, you just leave it up to chance.
Oh, chat, I sacrificed a Lega coin.
And moving on, we have the last Infinity Stone in the proverbial Infinity Gauntlet of making Tarkov easier, Arena. Which instead of focusing on making money or getting quest items, Arena allows you to fully progress your character's level and soft skills without having to play Tarkov. And your reward for doing so is a trader that sells some of the best gear, best guns, best cases, and best ammos in the game without having to level up the other traders to get it. And if
Wow. That sucks. Imagine being an escape from Tarkov player at this point. Jesus.
Of course, in addition to that, you can also send the millions of rubles that you make from playing Arena to your Tarkov character as well. These three things allow the player multiple ways to get money, gear, quest items, and even player progression without having to play any actual raids. Now, you do have to play raids to get some of these things set up, like getting to level 15 to unlock the flea market or getting the items to build your hideout, but maybe, just maybe, that's why people like early wipe Tarkov, because it's a brief period in time where not only is everyone on a level playing field, but it's also a time before all the ways to skip the friction of the game have opened up. Again, I'm not saying that we should get rid of these things or that any of them are inherently bad, but I think that after going through all this, if we revisit the question, has Tarkov gotten easier or harder, we can see things a little clearer. It's hard to answer that question because it seems like the game has gone in both directions, and it has done that without an obvious cohesive vision for what the game is supposed to be.
I think that was an AI, maybe. I don't know. I have no clue.
Is it supposed to be hard? How hard is it supposed to be? And in what ways is it supposed to be hard? Are you supposed to be able to skip what makes it hard? And how many times can I say hard in one rant before things get weird? Recently, I was watching the Game Maker's Notebook podcast that Nikita was featured on, and he was asked how he takes into consideration suggestions from the community and how he then balances that with what he wants the game to be. And his response was this.
You need to not like step away. You need to ease the stress. Because in my perspective, in my vision, Escape from Tarkov is way more harder than now. Way more.
Respectfully, what the f does that mean? Given everything that we just talked about, what do you think he means by way harder than it is right now? I'm not saying we should do this, but to me, if I was trying to make Tarkov way harder than it is right now, I would change, restrict, or remove the things that allow you to skip all of what makes Tarkov Tarkov, and I definitely wouldn't make it harder by tripling the amount of wires you need and only allowing you to play 3 maps. I have a really hard time understanding what he means by this. It just seems like such cognitive dissonance to me to say you want the game way harder than it is right now when Arena exists the way it does. And I don't hate Arena. I actually think
he's also the guy that at a game developer conference said that keep your games and better and let people pay you for developing the game, and you can do that for as long as you want and get money out of them. That's basically what he said. Yeah,
it's in a pretty good spot, but the connection it has to Tarkov is busted. You want the game harder, but you gave us ways to gain levels, skills, money, gear, weapons, and ammo without playing a single Tarkov raid. I just don't get it. Another thing I think is worth bringing up here is how I mentioned earlier that Tarkov got old. Or maybe a better way to put it is that Tarkov got figured out. And I think this might be the most misunderstood aspect of this whole thing by Battlestate Games, and maybe a big reason that they thought we needed a hardcore wipe. Tarkov is a game that unashamedly tells you nothing about what's going on. I mean, just look at what Skier sells. If you are brand new, like, what the hell is all this stuff? I still don't even know what half of it does. The knowledge barrier, whether you love it or hate it, is a huge part of the game and a huge part of what made the community so tight-knit. We were all figuring this out together. But what happens when you figure it all out? What happens when there's a wiki page for every quest, when there's an interactive map for each location, when every damage value and armor material gets data mined, or every skill progression formula and money run gets figured out? And I know it kind of sounds depressing, but I really don't mean it that way. I don't think it's a bad thing that there's a wiki or maps or ballistic calculators. I think those things are awesome, and I use all of them to get more enjoyment out of Tarkov. But I think the point is that once a game largely gets figured out, it can sometimes feel easier.
It's not just that it feels easier. At least to me, a lot of times it gets just boring. It's just boring.
Difficulty of the game maybe remains unchanged, but your knowledge and mastery of it increase such that you are successful more and more often. And that manifests in the game maybe not feeling quite as challenging. And this is kind of what I mean by Tarkov got old. It's been long enough to get figured out, and so it did. And I think that this is one of the things that the developers don't quite understand. They want the game to feel hard. So they increase how many rubles something costs or how many screws you need for a quest or a hideout module. But that doesn't make the game harder because we've already figured out how to get more money or more screws. What it really does is make the game more annoying because those changes are not challenging in any meaningful way. It doesn't feel good to keep searching random duffel bags until you find all the screws you need. And I worry that as long as they are trying to claw back how the game felt back in the day by arbitrarily increasing the difficulty of meaningless tasks, they kind of get the worst of both worlds, because the game doesn't become any less figured out, but it does slowly become less fun. And the second part of this is just...
Yeah, I agree. It's, how would I do it? Switch where quest objects are. But then again, if they are related to story, then that might be really difficult. Yeah, yeah. It's whatever.
The novelty of Tarkov kind of slowly wearing off. And this is unavoidable, and it happens in every genre and every game that's gotten popular. This isn't a slight against BSG or anything. Tarkov was the first extraction shooter, and it blew our friggin' minds because we had never seen anything like it before. But after 8+ years of the game being around, at some point, some of that novelty is just going to naturally wear off.
Yes.
So over the years, Tarkov has definitely gotten harder, but also definitely gotten easier. And for sure, it's gotten figured out. So what now? Well, I think that explains a lot of the confusion and division in the Tarkov community. Two people might say, I wish Tarkov was more like it was back in the day.
Yeah.
One of them wants that because Tarkov was harder back in the day, because there was no flea and no hideout and no arena. The other one wants it because it was easier back in the day, because there was no inertia, no weight system, and there was actually loot to find in raids. And both of those people probably don't realize that part of what they miss about back in the day is the fact that Tarkov was so fresh and new and hadn't been min-maxed yet.
Exactly.
Nobody knows what back in the day means anymore. And I think that this confusing, jumbled mess explains a lot of the changes that Battlestate games have made over the years. It seems like each of the major changes was implemented in a vacuum, without really thinking about how they affect the larger game as a whole. And then over time, they are kind of forced to react to how all of those mechanics affect the game and affect people's perception of the game.
I was like, I don't know, like, I just want to play video games and that's it.
The hideout is a great example of this. There were a ton of quests in the game before the hideout that were super hard and like RNG to do. Then when the hideout came, there were suddenly recipes to craft a bunch of the things that were hard to find, which was awesome. But then those tasks kind of became super easy because you could just craft what you needed. So they added more hard tasks. And then when those tasks got too difficult, they added more crafting recipes. So then those tasks became easy. So then they added more tasks, and round it goes. Instead of taking a beat to consider how some of these...
That was stupid. That was just stupid. And I can see why people don't like that. I mean, I wouldn't. Just having things there to be there, to, I don't know, make the game last longer. It's just boring. It's the exact same thing that World of Warcraft does. Meaningless things before you can do the things that are fun.
Tasks could be rebalanced so that they were still challenging, but maybe more accessible or less reliant on RNG. We just end up with an increasing number of fetch quests, an increasing number of crafting recipes that all just feels like bloat. It doesn't feel like they've taken a 10,000-foot view of Tarkov and laid out a clear vision for what it's supposed to be. And since Nikita himself was saying that the hardcore wipe was a way to get back to the roots of Tarkov and make things feel like the old days, let's now finally take a look at what actually happened in the hardcore wipe. Here are most of the major changes that were made to the game for the hardcore wipe. There's no time to go through all of them individually, but I think there are some really interesting observations to be made here, so I've grouped them into 3 buckets: contradictions, arbitrary changes, and things that had potential. The first bucket are the mechanics of the hardcore wipe that seem to contradict each other or undermine each other. The limited hideout crafts and limited trader inventories seems to imply that this wipe was going to put a greater focus on finding things you needed in raid. But instead of rebalancing the available loot on the locations and behind keyed rooms to make up for the lack of fleet and lack of things available from the traders, they actually nerfed loot. It kind of felt really cool those first few days to find a key because you thought maybe this would be a great way to find some meds or some ammo or some stuff you couldn't buy. But the amount of times I looted a locked room and there was literally nothing inside was really deflating. The reduced...
Okay, that's just shit. That's just bad game design. I absolutely think so. It's just bad game design.
Sell price and increased buy price from the traders, the increased insurance costs and repair costs. What? Kind of seemed to imply that money was going to be much harder to come by this way. But they left the ability to transfer money from Arena, meaning anybody with Arena could kind of skip that ruble pressure because they could just farm an unlimited amount of money risk-free. Many of the hardcore changes made it...
That's so retarded. That's literally just dumb.
It seemed like the spirit of the wipe was to keep high tier gear and ammo rare, but the bosses were at 100% at the start of the wipe, and what was purchasable from ref was still extremely high tier ammo, armor, and guns. Their solution, by the way, to people complaining about how you could get some of the best stuff in the game from ref wasn't to meaningfully balance what was available from him. It was just to make those things more expensive. Also, I think the boss...
Of course. Inflation is the solution. It's so dumb. It's incredible.
Bosses being at 100% is a really interesting example of a really confusing change. Any other wipe, increasing the boss spawn percent on wipe day would have been a massive W. Even in the hardcore wipe, if they had just made it 50% from the start, it would have been a really welcome change that most people would be excited about. But since it started at 100% and then dropped to 70% and then dropped to 50%, the people that enjoyed it at 100% were now frustrated, and a lot of the damage had already been done to the economy. It completely undermined the spirit of the wipe to have them at 100%. Whether you like the ability...
Man, the AI is really stupid. It's really... The AI is so dumb in this game. It's... Oh my god. I don't even have words for this shit.
To get high tier gear early or hated it, I don't think anybody understood how this could be considered hardcore. To experienced players, some of the bosses are pretty easy to kill. On the second day of the wipe, I got a class 5 armor and I got a Tagilla helmet, and went on the longest survive streak of my Tarkov career, surviving 36 raids in a row before I died. And on the flip side...
But by the way, that's a lot. 35 raids, that's a lot. A lot. Oh my god. I can't even tell you how much that is. But it's 35. It's 35.
Inexperienced players, not only are the bosses hard to kill, but now you had a bunch of experienced players role-playing as the bosses. It was a huge influx of the type of gear that it seemed like they didn't want us to have for the hardcore wipe. It just didn't feel like they thought about it any farther than bosses are hard, this is a hardcore wipe, make the bosses 100%.
Yeah.
Now, let's move on to the second bucket of changes, the arbitrary challenges. In this bucket, I have doubling the item requirements for the hideout zones, insurance being 10x the price, no quests on wipe day, time gating trader levels, increase repair costs, increase the amount of money you need to spend with the traders to level them up, and the trader restock times being in the neighborhood of 8 to 12 hours. These things definitely made Tarkov harder to deal with, but they weren't challenging in any meaningful way. It didn't feel rewarding to overcome.
Yeah, that's just annoying. It's literally just annoying. How to make your players not want to play the game. That's what it is.
Any of these challenges, they were just kind of roadblocks. Some of these things, however, could have been cool, but just needed a little bit more thought or nuance. It kind of felt like we were using a sledgehammer instead of a scalpel. For example, relying less on insurance is actually a cool idea, and I think a lot of people could get on board with it. But why bait people into spending their entire net worth insuring their first kit on their first raid? They could have just turned insurance off, or they could have had insurance prices scale with party size. So that way solos could still utilize it, but it would be less of a crutch for squads. Also, wanting to slow down progression is totally understandable. But just waiting for a tweet to tell you that level 3 Peacekeeper is available takes so much of the joy out of leveling up and progressing your character. They could have just rebalanced what was available from the traders so that as people progress, they don't have access to super high tier gear instead of just arbitrarily time gating them. And then moving on to the last bucket, we have the things that were actually pretty cool or at least had some potential. Obviously, not everybody liked the secure container changes, but it was something that seemed to get a much more positive reception. And this is something that I would potentially call a hardcore change. It forced you to risk more, but it also rewarded you for overcoming a challenge. If you killed a PMC and you got to loot them, you got to loot all their meds and ammo. Now, I do think that not allowing money in the container meant that some low-hanging hardcore fruit was never attained. This would have been the perfect wipe to focus more on taking car extracts or taking the BTR around or extracting some of your loot from the BTR.
Is it me or that Escape from Tarkov, when it comes to graphics, not age well? I think it... I mean, the game never was beautiful, right? Even back in the day. But I think it now looks way worse compared to other games that are out there. And yeah, it's just it's just not that good looking, especially if you compare it to Arc Raiders. And yes, I know I'm talking a lot of, I'm glazing Arc Raiders like I glaze my girlfriend. I know that, but you know, It's true.
Or at the transit extracts, but not being able to put money in your container meant nobody was really bringing enough money to partake in these things. Speaking of the transit extracts, the forced map transits at the start of the wipe were horrible, but it felt like almost everybody agreed there was a nugget of a good idea in there. It was just poorly executed. There were so many cool community suggestions during that first week that would have been awesome to be implemented, but instead they just removed the mechanic altogether. Also, it's worth noting that the bugs with the transit system were borderline inexcusable. Crashing, spawning on top of other teams, the Alt F4 bug, and all of the other transit-related bugs had all been in the game for over a year. The entire time the transit mechanic had been in Tarkov, those bugs had been present, and none of them were addressed before the wipe, and it just completely ruined the vibe. The last thing in this bucket was them getting rid of the flea market. This was probably widely regarded as the best change that they made. Not everybody liked it, but it felt like a meaningful change where there was one less way to rely on getting money or items.
Yes, I can completely see why this would be a good change for a game to be more hardcore. Yeah, absolutely. Duh. Meanwhile, Mbug is working on a flea market system for our creators. Well, it's a casual game, right?
That you needed, and it affected everybody equally. Unfortunately, as we stated earlier, they didn't really take the time to then balance what was available from the traders or adjust the loot pools in Raid to create a cohesive looting experience. They just kind of turned off the flea market, and then eventually turned it back on and arbitrarily made the level requirement 35.
What?
So that's the hardcore wipe.
Makes
look,
no sense.
I'm not trying to shit on BSG or the concept of a hardcore wipe or the people that have had fun playing Tarkov during the hardcore wipe. Honestly, even while writing this script, I'm almost embarrassed that I can muster up thousands of words of opinions on a video game. Sometimes I even tell myself to go touch some grass, but we gotta land this plane, so let's recap. Tarkov made huge waves when it started blowing up.
Yeah.
There was nothing on the market like it. And over the years, Battlestate Games has constantly made some aspects of the game harder and opened up more ways to skip what makes it hard. And I think that them not realizing this has created a cascade of reactionary changes manifesting in a million little buffs, nerfs, and other tweaks that led to a lot of confusion as to what Tarkov is and what it was back in the day. So BSG devised up the hardcore wipe, which ultimately fell short of making really anybody happy because it too lacked a clear vision for what it was supposed to be or feel like, and it seemed like there was no consideration for how the changes being made would impact each other or how they would impact the game as a whole. All in the name of being hardcore. But I'll say it again. To me, Tarkov had always been hardcore. Let me ask you something. When you first started playing Tarkov, whether that was years ago or just recently, how did you describe it to your friends? I can only speak for myself here, but for me, it was a lot of those things we talked about earlier. The fact that when you kill somebody, you get to take all their stuff, which means if somebody kills you, you lose everything you have on you. The fact that you could literally disassemble every single part of every single gun in the game and customize it however you want with real world parts.
Yes.
The fact that no matter how geared you are, you can almost always get one-tapped, and how you can actually go fully broke and lose everything or make it big and get rich. I remember telling my friends about how you have to manipulate your gear like you do in real life. You have to have space in your rig for your mag when you reload. You have to repack.
Yes, that's all great and so, but at the end, does this really increase how to say it? Does this really make the game better? I don't think so. It's just something on top of an already good game that can make it better, but does it though? Not really. And I think the fundamentals of this game are kind of... I think the game is kind of broken. I do think so, yeah. The game is kind of broken. There's too much shit in the game that you have to pay attention to. And all the different kinds, just the different kinds of ammunition. Oh, what ammunition do I use? This or this? Oh no, this. Always this, and never anything else, because everything else is just shit. Then why does the shit ammo exist? Why? There's literally no reason. just only have one type of ammo. Yeah, man, I'm getting agitated here.
Pack those mags with ammo one at a time, ammo that you have to remember to bring. You didn't just have an HP bar, your HP was split into multiple zones, which creates an incredibly complex medical system.
Yes, yes, and yeah, but it's good, but it's also tedious.
I could go on, but I think you get the point. Those are the things that make Tarkov hardcore. Not how many motors you need to upgrade your hideout, or the fact that it takes 60,000 rubles to repair a gun when you can just buy a brand new gun for 40,000 rubles. These things come across as annoying, not hardcore. What makes Tarkov hardcore are the core pillars of gameplay that have always been there. Maybe if they focus on providing less ways to skip playing the game and made playing the game less frustrating, you wouldn't need a hardcore wipe. The game would just be hardcore and fun. And while I do think that there is a lot of value in looking backwards to see what was working before, or to maybe see where things went wrong, I don't think that there should be so much of a focus on trying to return to old Tarkov. I'm sorry, Nikita, but to a certain extent, you can't put that genie back in the bottle. Why are we worried about old Tarkov? Why aren't we focused on the future of Tarkov? Now, I don't really have some super compelling
I agree, focus on the future
point to end this video with. I don't think that I have all the answers, and I don't claim to know exactly what BSG should do. And honestly, in this video, I was trying to avoid really giving my opinion on which direction Tarkov should go. There will always be disagreement, and no game can make everybody happy.
Oh yeah, I've also not say what they should do because I'm not playing the game anymore. And while I played it, I wasn't the target audience, let's say it that way. I didn't really enjoy it.
In Tarkov, there will always be the milsim gamers versus the arcadey gamers. There will always be the casuals versus the no-lifers. I'm not trying to say that Tarkov should go in the direction that I want it to go in. My goal is to outline that they created a lot of that division by going multiple directions at the same time and constantly stumbling over themselves.
Yeah.
I just want them to pick whatever direction they want to go in and create meaningful, well thought out changes that push the game in that direction. Yeah. Even if it's a direction I don't like. And when you have Nikita saying that he wishes that the game was way harder than it is now, or saying that if he could go back and do it all over again, he would never add the flea, it's obvious that even they aren't completely satisfied with the direction of the game. I just want it to be cohesive and to be intentional. And yeah, there is a lot of hype around Tarkov announcing their 1.0 launch in November. And maybe 1.0 is the answer.
So they came out with a full version. Okay. Wait, he made the video before that? Oh, okay.
Maybe all this was just the appetizer and they have been cooking on the 1.0 branch to the game and they've got it all figured out. I would be happy to be the first one to announce that I was wrong and that BSG was in control the whole time, but I can only really comment on what's actually happened so far. And the fact that all of this change and identity crisis has happened so close to 1.0 definitely has me a little concerned about how cohesive their vision is going to be for the launch of the game and beyond. I'll end with this. Fun and hardcore are not mutually exclusive.
Oh, of course not. Of course not. I would never say that. Everyone that says that is an idiot. Of course hardcore things can be fun. Of course they are. But what are we talking about here? It's just you either like it or you don't. If you don't, then you don't. Then just don't do the hardcore things. It's, duh.
Tarkov has always been hardcore. It's just that Tarkov used to be more fun. But god damn it, I still love this game and I'm still rooting for it. Thanks for watching.
Good video. Really good video. And I agree. Yeah. Totally. They have a problem with not really knowing what to do with the game, I think. Yeah. Good video. What do we next? If we... I actually wanna get some work done. Sounds dumb because, you know, streamer saying I want to get some work done and then stop streaming. One of the most retarded things ever. So let's watch. What do we watch? Let's watch this. Marathon versus Arc Raiders. Can Bungie even compete? No. Before even watching the video, I can tell you, no. No. But let's watch the video. Man, I think everything we did today for streaming was video game related. Which, by the way, also is the stuff that gets me the most views on YouTube. Man, maybe I really shouldn't go for politics and shit like that. Let's watch this.
I've played Marathon's latest playtest, and I've put tons of hours into Arc Raiders at this point. These two games are entering the gaming world around the same time and in the same genre. Comparisons are rampant, and if I worked at Bungie, I'd be very scared of how these comparisons are going to impact Marathon sales. Since I have more experience with Marathon than the average person at this time, I feel that I'm in a semi-unique position to offer critique of Marathon.
Why is it that whenever I see anything marathon-related gameplay, I want to vomit? It's so fucking ugly. And it runs like shit. This looks like it's below 30 FPS.
While using Arc Raiders as a case study to offer further insight. Here's my thesis. Marathon cannot try to compete with Arc Raiders.
Of course not. I mean, which game would even try at this point? Arc Raiders is such a runaway success that it's really hard to compete with that. Unless you have something really special under, you know, your umbrella, whatever. I'm not good with sayings in English. Unless you have something really special, just like Arc Raiders, I don't think you can compete with it. Unless you're focusing on PvP, then yes, you can. Because Arc Raiders is not a PvP game. It's absolutely not. And that's fine. But I actually enjoy that it is not. I don't hate PvP though. I just avoid it at all costs. Like yesterday's stream, I literally ran away for 15 minutes or even 20 from enemies in one map because I couldn't find an exit. Because the fucking map is a labyrinth. So retarded.
Its only chance is to pivot further into its own unique direction. People really want to hate Marathon, and I get it. Bungie's seemingly rampant theft of art is unacceptable. Plus, the fact that the former CEO was spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on car collecting while laying off his hardworking employees is disgusting. These things—
Ow! So the studio head is an asshole too. Who could have guessed?
Cannot go unacknowledged, but from here on out, I'm going to engage with Marathon and with Arc Raiders as works of art divorced from the context of their respective—
Why as works of art and not a product? Or even better, why not both? Because both are fundamentally first products that are meant to be consumed. Never forget that. Video games are products that are meant to be consumed. And it's up to you to decide if you like what you consume or not.
Studios. Now, let's go point by point We'll talk about different aspects of Marathon, what it does well, and what needs improvement. Then we'll use Arc Raiders in comparison to see what we can learn from that. First up is art style. Art style is among the most important aspects of any game.
I like the art style of Arc Raiders. I hate Marathon art style. It's so disgusting. I hate it. I hate how blocky everything is. I hate the color design. It's so disgusting. It's so fucking ugly. It's like modern architecture compared to old architecture. But the old architecture is Arc Raiders. Old architecture, beautiful, awesome. Modern architecture, fucking ugly. Fucking ugly.
But it is also one of the most subjective. The only reason I brought this up at all is to start on a positive note and praise both games. Arc Raiders' retro-futuristic outfits, serene natural environments, and arachnophobia triggering enemy design all coalesce into a world I thoroughly enjoy exploring. In Marathon, there's simply...
Just look at this. Not even the fucking water looks good. We figured out water in the 2000s, 20 fucking years ago. How do they make water look shit? And what's this behind there? I would guess a building, but it's hard to say. It could be a ship, a boat, some sort of metal structure, I don't know. The weapon? That doesn't even look, that barely looks like a weapon. And look at this shit here. What the fuck? Man, I hate this shit.
Nothing like Marathon. I love every aspect of Marathon's art style, and whether you love it or hate it, there's no denying that it's unforgettable. Now let's get to the nitty-gritty. Time to kill and PvE. I think Arc Raiders TTK feels pretty good. PvE enemies are very threatening, but they won't insta-kill you unless you put yourself in a really dumb position.
Yes, I agree. And I can tell that because I put myself in very bad positions and then died. Like yesterday when I first fought Matriarch and tried to get a mine on it, and I walked below it and got trampled by its legs. And then I need to get revived by another player. During that fight, I got revived 3 times. I was on a solo lobby.
And other raiders can kill you quickly, but there's usually just enough time for you to react. They'll often get the first hit in, but you'll usually have enough time to get to cover or return fire depending on your shield. This stands in stark contrast with Marathon. Unless I had a really good shield, if somebody ambushed me, I wouldn't even know where they were before I was dead on the ground. Now, going up against PvE enemies did feel a little bit more balanced in terms of time to kill. A lot like with Arc Raiders, enemies felt dangerous, but they wouldn't insta-kill. And yet, despite similar TTKs in both games when it comes to PvE enemies, Marathon's PvE fights are far more frustrating than Arc Raiders.
Yes, I can imagine. I mean, I'm just looking at this and I'm about to have a seizure. At least it feels like that.
I believe this is because of the increased enemy density in Marathon and the fact that damage is far more difficult to avoid. For example,
well, that most likely too, yeah. To be fair, the density in arcs on the maps is not high. It's not, absolutely not.
With Arc Raiders, a typical enemy patrol will usually be 1 to 3 drone enemies. They all do significant damage, but their attacks are very well telegraphed, and if you play it right, you can easily avoid any damage in the fight.
Yes.
Versus Marathon, where enemy patrols are far larger, and their attacks are harder to avoid due to their higher projectile velocity and how fast they fire. Even when you play it well, your shields are probably going to break every fight.
I think the reason in the difference here is that Arc Raiders was primarily developed as a single-player game. That's why they had to telegraph the attacks very well, so the players would know when they would happen. And they continued using that even after the switch to include PvP, which is good. I think that's really, really good.
For those of you who play Arc Raiders, picture this. Double the amount of wasps, half their health, and remove the bright light that shows you where they're aiming. You'd probably still win most of your fights, but you're going to end up taking more damage.
Yeah.
You'll be constantly using shield rechargers and using way more ammo to kill all of the additional enemies.
Yeah.
Every fight in Marathon just felt like a massive drain on my resources, and avoiding fights was very difficult. But Marathon's gunplay is great. I mean, it's developed by the studio who built Destiny. How could Marathon's gunplay be anything less than an 8 out of 10?
By just fucking it up. I mean, it's Bungie. I could believe if you tell me that they completely fucked up the gunplay, because it's Bungie. The heydays of Bungie are long over. Long over. I believe that all the actually talented guys, they all left already. I don't believe for a second that they are still there.
So with that in mind, I actually have a proposed solution that I think might solve Marathon's PvP TTK, and that will make PvE feel much less draining.
I just wanted to complain that the bullets in the machine gun were not round, but rectangles. No, not rectangles. You have seen it. But then I remembered that this is not reality, but it's a virtual kind of world where they are in, and something like that. When I remember correctly, lore-wise, I don't remember. I don't really remember, because I don't want to. I don't want to remember this mess.
The solution? Copy Fortnite. Don't click off the video. Let me explain. Fortnite has an overshield system. Every player has a small 50 health overshield. The overshield regenerates while not in combat, while your main health bar and shields need to be repaired with items. If Marathon were to implement this system, you'd be able to take a small amount of damage without having to fully recharge your main shield, meaning that even though trading some damage with Marathon's enemies is inevitable, you don't get your resources punished because you got into a fight. And of course, a little bit of extra shield will...
It sounds good to me. I like the idea.
...make PvP's time to kill a little bit longer. To be clear, I am not suggesting this for Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders doesn't need this overshield mechanic.
Yeah, it doesn't, because it's already... Yeah, I would say it's good. Not even decent, it's good. I like how the shields work. And the HP. It's fine.
Due to its enemy design and how well those enemies telegraph their attacks. All an overshield system would do is just make the game easier, and I don't think that's what players want. Because of Marathon's far more...
Yeah, if Arc Raiders would be even easier than it already is, people would get so bored. At least the PvE players. Oh my god. PvE players have all the resources they need already. I absolutely believe that PvE players are the richest people in the game, in Arc Raiders, while PvP players are the ones that are struggling because they're constantly in a fight. As a PvE player, you aren't. I can completely evade fights, but most of them in Arc Raiders. I can especially evade fights with people. That's the easiest. Well, not the easiest, but you know, I can do that. I'm not getting ambushed by 3 people when I play it solo. I can have that when I encounter arcs.
Numerous hit scan NPCs, this overshield will lead to less frustration while still punishing players who pick fights that they aren't properly prepared for. This suggestion ties back to my thesis. Marathon cannot use the same health and shield system that Arc Raiders utilizes. The Marathon team needs to adapt their health and shield system to fit their unique combat environment.
Yes, I agree.
Okay, now let's talk the social aspect of these games. I never thought I'd say it, but running into other players is actually my favorite part of Arc Raiders. The proxy chat is such a game-changing feature. The ability to negotiate with people, ask for help, or even threaten them opens up players to so many memorable moments.
Yes.
I can already recall half a dozen times where talking to other raiders made my experience playing the game so much better.
Yes, the interactions with... And yes, you got betrayed here. The interactions with other players is what makes Arc Raiders so much better than other games. And that's why, you know, PvE players have so much more fun in the game, I think. Because we all the time have great interactions with other people. We help each other all the time. We. But then again, sometimes we just run into people that just want to kill us. And that's fine. That's part of the game. And that's why it's so good, so awesome that there are friendly people there. It's a package that makes it great. Not every single aspect, but the package.
And I'm happy to report that Marathon has this proxy chat system as well. No one used it.
Of course not.
Every single person shot first. Everyone.
Well,
I had one guy talk to me via proxy chat, and all he did was say sorry as he executed me. To be honest, I don't 100% understand why I had 2 completely different experiences with this same feature.
I can. Different audiences. Completely different audiences. That's it. The audiences of those games, those 2 games are different. That's why it's happening. It's that easy. It's that easy.
I can theorize. I think time to kill might be a part of it.
No.
Ambushing other players is inherently less risky in Marathon due to that TTK, so people are just less likely to negotiate and talk to each other. There was also this bug where choosing what audio devices you wanted to use could be difficult. That probably contributed. Another thing to consider is that the audience was 100% made up of people who specifically signed up for this playtest. So maybe it was just a sweatier group of players that was far more into PvP than the average Arc Raiders player. Heck.
Yeah, the average Arc Raiders player, I would guess, almost never does PvP. At least in Europe. European servers seem to be so friendly. I barely run ever into someone that tries to kill me. Because I avoid PvP. And when I run into someone, I literally run. I literally run. Just as fast as I can.
I could have just gotten unlucky and exclusively ran into people who didn't want to talk. Unfortunately, I am unsure of what the solution to this problem is, but I am certain that this is a massive hurdle that Bungie needs to be paying attention to. This is the only part of this video where I'll say Bungie needs to shamelessly copy Arc Raiders when it comes to their proxy chat. Bungie needs to do whatever it takes to cultivate these types of social interactions that Arc Raiders is so full of. Because a social player base will do more for you than any other system you could possibly implement. I've got to open the.
I have to say it again. It's not the Arc Raiders didn't do anything special to make people use their voice chat. They didn't. It's the game and the audience they have that makes it that way. The reason why people in Marathon don't use it is because of the audience of Marathon. That's what's going on. It had nothing to do with cultivating anything. That's absolutely what I believe. It has nothing to do with cultivating a culture or anything like that. It's just that the games are so different that the player base is just completely different.
Floor to y'all here. How is it that Arc Raiders has cultivated so much more social interaction in game while Marathon has completely failed in that regard? Please let me know in the comments if you have any ideas. I have one final element that I'd like to compare between Marathon and Arc Raiders: monetization. This is a complex and tricky subject, and to be clear, a lot of Marathon's monetization strategy is currently an unknown. It was originally priced at $40, and the gaming community at large wasn't a huge fan of that price point. But since then, Arc Raiders came out, and it is currently priced at $40. And Arc Raiders is breaking records. In fact, this is the first time I can ever remember a digital deluxe upgrade having a positive rating on Steam. So clearly, extraction shooters can succeed at the $40 price point. But Marathon won't. Let's go through a hypothetical scenario. Bungie somehow makes a game that's better than Arc Raiders in every single way. If they release this hypothetical...
What does that even mean? What does that mean? I think the problem here is that you think if a game is it runs faster. I don't even know what does that mean. You have to explain what do you mean, because I can tell you that the world of Marathon is not better. It's way worse. It's Jesus, I'm getting angry. One reason why Marathon will not work as well as Arc Raiders is the graphic style. The majority of people will not like it because it is so distinct. While Arc Raiders is, well, it's a realistic looking game that has a style to it that's at least somewhat appealing. I mean, not everything in Arc Raiders is beautiful, and it doesn't need to be. Graphics don't have to be beautiful to be appealing, to make people want to look at it. I have seen things in games that are horrendous, like body parts and stuff like that, you know, intestines, gruesome stuff. Yeah, it's part of the game. It's the flair. Marathon is just an unappealing game for, I would say, the majority of people. You can't tell me if you take an average screenshot from Arc Raiders and from Marathon and go outside and ask people what do they think is visually more appealing to them, they will go with Arc Raiders. 90% of people. I absolutely believe that. And going back to the making a game better than Arc Raiders in every aspect. What does that mean? What does that mean? Oh, a better story? What do you mean with a better story? What about the story would be better? I mean, to be fair, I'm not a huge crack on the story in Arc Raiders. It's just, for me, it's at this point, it's just there to the game being there. It's whatever to me. Might change, but at the moment it's whatever. The enemies, the AI, how do you make something better than what we have in Arc Raiders? Oh, it's not robots, it's something else. Okay. Does that make it better? Not necessarily. But what do you mean with better? That's a met. If you say things like that, you have to think about what that even mean. What does that even mean, my friend?
Version of Marathon at a $40 price point. The bad press that this game has already accumulated will likely still cripple its launch sales.
Yes.
I believe that Marathon has no choice other than to come in at a cheaper price point. I think that would give Bungie a lot more goodwill from their audience, and more people would be willing
from their audience, by the way. Man, I've seen this before. It's still fucking ugly.
To give it a chance. All right, now let's go through a second hypothetical scenario. Marathon is both financially successful and critically successful on launch.
What do you mean with critically? The critics will love it because they have to. You know. The players, I think, will not. I mean, again, look at this. This is fucking ugly. This is, oh my god. Yeah, no thanks. Yeah. Where did I want to go? I don't remember. Yeah, financially successful. I don't think it will be. And I think Bungie will shut down after this game comes out. They will maybe be around for 1 more year, maybe 2. Maximum 2, and then they will just, be fucked up. I can't see Bungie doing anything anymore that's worth them. They have already ruined... Oh, how is it called? Destiny 2 is already dead. At least on Steam, they have only about, I think, 15,000 players left. On average, you know. And it's continuously dying down. And I don't see that changing. And I don't think that the people that left, because Bungie killed off their games, that they will come back for Marathon. Why would they? They probably play other games already that are better than Marathon, or at least as good.
How do they financially support its continued development? Well, it's a battle pass and paid cosmetics. That's industry standard. I mean, What else could it be? Paid expansions, for example, would just split the player base, and it's a ridiculously bad idea. A battle pass and paid cosmetics are exactly what Arc Raiders is doing in order to fund their continued development. This seems to be a successful monetization strategy thus far, but only time will tell if it's successful in the...
And here's the problem with Arc Raiders. You make so much of the premium currency while just playing the game. And with playing the game, I mean unlocking the how is it called? The Dex thing here with the blue. And doing events that it might hinder them actually making money. Because since launch, I made about 3,500, so 3,500 of these by playing the game. I think that's a good amount to make. And yes, I got me a bunch of cosmetics. So I'm now back at the 2,400 that I had for buying the deluxe edition. So far, I haven't spent any extra money on a game, and I already bought cosmetics. Yeah, just, things to think about.
Long term. And in Marathon's current state, I can't see people being super willing to purchase cosmetics or battle passes. It's exclusively a first-person game. The cosmetics are cool and all, but you rarely see your player character.
Yeah,
whereas
which
Arc
is bad.
Raiders has your player character's model in view at all times, leading players to be far more invested in how they look. This once again ties back to my main point. Marathon can't copy Arc Raiders in this regard. Marathon needs first person. I'm not suggesting that they switch to third person like Arc Raiders. So they're going to need to find another way to make cosmetic items more appealing. I believe a social space could achieve this. Something like Destiny's Tower, where you can walk around in third person and hang out with your friends in game. This also has the potential.
This runs like shit. I really didn't want to re-download Destiny 2 for footage of the tower. Oh. Nerd Sanctum is the YouTube channel that's from. It runs like shit, my dude. Sorry to tell you.
Potential to offer an endgame activity, such as customizing your base.
But by the way, so does World of Warcraft. It runs like shit in the new hubs.
Or ship or whatever they make the social space. This is a suggestion I think Arc Raiders could take as well, but I don't think it's as necessary to the game's success as it would be for Marathon. Marathon can't beat Arc Raiders at its own game, and it shouldn't try. I think that Arc Raiders needs to be the wake-up call and catalyst for change at Bungie. Innovate, mix things up, do stuff that Arc Raiders and other extraction shooters haven't done yet.
They can't. They can't. They're way too big. And this game is coming out. It was supposed to come out last year at the end. This game, you can't change it enough to make it not shit. Let's just shit. The game will be shit. Even if good gameplay wise won't be shit. It's so visually unappealing that will tick so many people off that they will just not buy it. That's what my personal opinion. Like everything else I said in the video.
Lean into your studio's strengths. I'm gonna just start throwing stuff at the wall here. Marathon has an incredible world and industry-leading gunplay.
Does it have an incredible world? I haven't seen anything like that.
Lean into that even more. I think leaning more into PvE could help that. Maybe make some PvE only modes where you can explore Marathon's unique world with a bit more freedom. Maybe make it so that the harder the zone is rated, the more PvP there will be. Here's another idea. How about a mode where all players load into a zone and are marked as friendly to each other? But as the match progresses, hostile player invaders start showing up. Kind of like the...
So fundamentally what you're saying here is, make a completely different game. That's fundamentally what you're saying here. That Bungie needs to make a completely different game. Yeah? Yeah? That might be successful. Nah, Bungie's dead.
Invaders in Dark Souls, or in the Gambit mode in Destiny. This will add the risk of player versus player combat, and it might also encourage more social interaction between the friendly players, since they might want to team up against those hostile invaders. Maybe you can lean further into the legacy of the Marathon games, and bundle the old school games into this new one. Maybe remaster them, or give them out for free. Get creative and fight like hell to stand out and change the perception behind this game. Because Marathon has to escape the shadow of comparisons, or it's all over.
It already is. It already is. One reason why it's over is because they did not go with the aesthetics and the world of the original Marathon games. If they just took that and made a game set in that world, that would have been fine, I would guess, but they didn't. And now here we are.
Look, at the end of the day, I am not a game developer, And everything I've suggested here is so much easier said than done. But Marathon really needs to adapt to survive. And I want it to survive. Heck, I want Marathon to thrive. But Arc Raiders is an unstoppable force that has taken over the extraction shooter market. I want a world where both of these games will succeed for many years to come. Arc Raiders is nailing it on every front. But
that's not true. It's not. And we from when is that video? 1 month ago? Yeah. It's not. It has quite some problems which are being fixed, but it has problems.
Bungie really has their work cut out for them. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments below what Bungie would have to do for you to give Marathon a shot. Do you believe Marathon has any chance at all? And how are you enjoying Arc Raiders? This is a very small channel, so if you enjoyed it, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Otherwise, the YouTube algorithm will just continue to ignore me forever. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hopefully, I'll see you again soon.
Good video. That was a really good video. Really good video, yeah. I don't think that Marathon has a chance. I think it's already too late. And with all the money that's being put into the game, it needs to be a really big success. We can actually look up. Developing cost of Marathon game. Not Fong. No relevant information. Of course, no information for me. I'm looking at the DuckDuckGo. Okay, yeah. We don't know, but we can expect at least 100 mil, maybe 200, because it's Bungie and they're being financed by Sony. Yeah, I think this game is going to be a complete disaster. That's absolutely what I believe. Deep down in my black, cold heart. And with that, I'm calling it today. I want to actually do some thumbnails and editing. And then I might stream later, just some Arc Raiders or stuff like that. Or maybe I stream tomorrow some gaming. I haven't planned anything. And yeah, see you guys next time. Bye bye. And don't forget to follow, subscribe, and comment, like, whatever you can do on your platform, which are a lot of platforms. Bye bye.